Hello and welcome to episode 57 of the Jeffrey and Brian Show. I am Jeffrey.
And I'm Brian.
And we're just two guys drinking beer, talking what's going on. We got ourselves an exciting guest on tonight, our own Australian, who's going to tell us what's going on the other side of the planet.
So we're officially an internationally recognized show now.
Intercontinental.
Yes.
It can be claimed that now, boys.
I don't know if you want us using your name or not, but it is written across the bottom of the screen that's going to be published on YouTube.
Like, so it's no use putting on a balaclava now.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
It's in the wash, actually, me balaclava.
The fuck? Well, I try to start out every week typically with something local to where I live. Boston University, check this out. They're offering to pay you money to drink beer and watch television.
Why in the hell aren't you there?
Because I would have to be able to do it during working hours at least once a week to like write a report.
Which one makes more money?
Oh, definitely work.
Okay.
This is like a study because they have this drug that they think the byproduct of it makes you not want to drink as much beer.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I said. It's like, so I get to drink beer and watch TV. I take a pill and maybe I'll drink less beer.
Maybe.
I'm like, cool. Give me
Sounds
my money.
like a waste of taxpayer fund money again.
Massachusetts money, go figure. And I think Boston has lost its balls.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
I don't know. Boston was the city that started it all off and, told the United Kingdom to fuck themselves. And now they're in line like a bunch of bitches and leave it to Australia to be the guys to finally step up and say, we've had enough of this bullshit. Because, I mean, they're a fucking penal colony.
Well, that's how they got started, but obviously they're not that anymore.
True. I'm glad to see that someone's stepping up because apparently not even Boston has any balls anymore. And yeah, the Aussies are stepping up. And it looks like maybe they're gonna set the world straight, but apparently the world is having a blackout on what's actually happening there. Why don't you tell us what's going on, Ron?
Yeah, g'day, lads. How are we? Right now in Australia, it's pretty pathetic what's going on. Our government's turning into a tyrannical government. That happened in America today. You guys were having your second civil war. We're at the stage now. We've been in lockdown since about November last year.
Didn't you guys deploy your own army recently within your own borders?
Yes. The started with New South Wales government.
Holy shit, dude.
That
alone right there would have had me pick up my rifle. I'm not even kidding.
We've had our rifles taken away from us.
Yeah, and I bet a lot of people are regretting signing that paperwork, huh?
Oh, mate. If only we had foresight, huh? Foresight instead of foreskin.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is guns sound like a bad thing until something like this happens. Like, fuck, they all have guns and I don't,
Well, the thing is, like, you can still have guns and that, but it's really
true, but not nearly to the extent we have them here.
No, we can't carry. We can't walk around and carry like what you guys do.
Yeah. What kind of guns can you have in Australia now?
It's rifles. Like if you're on rural properties and that, because the deadly animals and all that out there, you're entitled to. But you still got to have them locked down, ammo separate.
Okay.
It's all got to be.
I imagine a lot of shotguns too.
Oh, mate, yeah.
But exactly, you're not carrying around a 45 pistol.
No, well, mate, they were all taken. We used to be able to buy guns at Kmart like you guys did years ago. That was
we still do. Walmart.
Walmart stopped selling them now too. So.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is now, like we used to be able to buy them. We used to have sporting goods stores and that, but ever since whatever happened down in Tasmania, down in Port Arthur, they just come through and said, "Fuck it, we're taking them all, boys." And basically, like, they gave us 2 amnesties. So the first time soft dicks handed in their guns first. Then they gave us another amnesty. Then bang, it was after that, it was just jail, jail straight away. So it was a choice, like carrying a gun or going to jail. So we had no choice.
I hate when people make a comparison to Nazis. I really do, because it's not fair. But the Nazis understood as well as anyone else, the first thing you have to do before you control a population is disarm the population.
Exactly. Then you've got to shut down the media. You've got to coerce everybody. What's happening now in Australia? They say, like, I won't say, can we say the word jab? So you guys don't get in trouble with censorship or anything like that?
No.
Where did this jab come from?
I got the explicit
world.
label on my podcast. So just
can we say syringe? Can we say syringe?
We can say whatever you want.
We call them shots, typically. It's a shot, right?
How about we call it a trial drug? Because it's not a fucking vaccine.
No. Even though I agree with you on that, because even though they're like, the FDA in America is like approved a version of the Pfizer drug, it's still a trial drug. The one they're actually handing out here in the US is not really approved by the FDA. So.
And remember too, man, like this man lives in Australia. Like he doesn't give a fuck what the FDA has to say.
No. But I'm just saying that, it's still a trial drug here too.
I mean, like, Ron, do you even know who the FDA is or what they are?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, I do, mate. We've got our corresponding.
They got their version.
That's what's pissing me off, is why is the entire world give a fuck? Like for some reason, people are looking to Joe Biden to fix this shit. I'm like, the guy's a fucking zucchini.
I've got 15 MAGA hats sitting out my fucking hat stand. You want one? I follow American politics like Jeffrey, very much, mate. But now in Australia, we're really fucked at the moment. You guys got one thing that saves you from the rest of the world. You got your constitution. When Australia was founded, we come under the fucking, we were criminals. We'll send out as crims.
Right.
We'll let them die. Right. So what happened once Australia started building up buildings, knocking down trees, don't get a few sheep that
surviving.
Mate, we were left out here. We were left out here. Fuck all. And they left us here.
That's what got me was there was a bunch of hard asses that survived.
Yeah.
So like in general, your Australians are pretty fucking tough. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not picking on your Aussies, but the fact that you handed over your guns, and I know you said you didn't have a choice, but you could have fired it.
Yeah, that's not necessarily a good choice all the time.
Yeah.
Would you rather live on your knees or die on your feet?
We die on our feet, mate. Like, we support you guys in every major war, except for a few of them.
Yeah, actually, we're about to share like some serious top secret information that we haven't shared with anyone in the world since England in the 60s with our submarines.
Not even France.
Oh, that's the whole shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
And North Korea said there might be a nuclear arms race. I was like, what nuclear arms race? Everyone has giant intercontinental ballistic missiles except for you.
Pissed off Pepe Le Pew's out there, mate.
But yeah, apparently we're gonna share our nuclear submarine technology with Australia.
Yeah, between you and Britain, there's a few pistol Frenchmen out there.
But Australia said they had no interest in arming them with nuclear weapons.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, in Perth, they let the nuclear aircraft carriers come in, but they're not big fans of the nuclear powered ships coming in there. It's like
they wouldn't let us dock in the on the carrier. We had to drop anchor 3 miles
Liberty
out.
Boats in and out. Yeah.
We had to. Yeah, they wouldn't let us within 3 miles of their country on a nuclear powered ship.
Right. Because it's just their mentality about nuclear power and nuclear weapons type deal.
A lot of the world.
A lot of it's come from the Greenies, mate. The Greenies, like, you've got to understand, your two major parties, the Democrats and the Republicans, right? Well, your Liberal Party in Australia, our Liberal Party, we call Liberal, which would have been your Democrats, are actually your Republicans.
Yes.
And our Labor Party are like your Democrats.
Which sounds like it would be the other way around, but for some reason it's here at the same time. The Democrats swear they support the people that work.
Right.
Yeah, but they don't.
And at the time, we had a Labor Party in, which Greens control them. Greens and unions and shit like that control the Labor Party, which would be your Democrats. And mate, they're pussies. They just wanted to. That's why they stopped you from coming in. It's only because they were running the country at the time. So yeah, different governments. Like our Liberal government out here, they're fully on for the Army, the Navy, the Armed Forces, and all that. They back like your Republicans, back our armed forces all the way. When we got a Labor Party in, there's reduced money that goes towards our armed forces and that. So at the moment, our federal government's Liberal Party, like Republicans. So yeah, so that's why we're spending big on armed forces and that at the moment.
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
The big issue I see with the way Australia has their government set up, and don't think I have all the answers, because I don't.
No, go for it, mate.
I think you guys can recall your what do you guys call them? Premier? Is that the word?
Prime Minister.
Yeah, we're Prime Minister, but our premiers like your governors.
Okay. So Prime Minister. I think it's too easy for you guys to recall them, because you guys seem to have rip the guy out of office like every year and a half. So nothing ever gets fucking done, because the next guy undoes what the last guy started every single time, and nothing ever fucking happens.
But that happens here in America too, every 4 years.
But at least you get 4 years to get something started. These guys get 18 months. Like last 4 years, how many prime ministers have you had?
Oh, well, mate, we've had about 2 in the last 4 years.
See?
but the thing is, it's the bloke who's third in line's got the most power. Always remember that.
Yeah, I got a weird feeling that there might be a petition soon here to pull this guy out of power. A lot of Australians seem pretty pissed.
Oh, mate, we're fucked off now. One thing you guys might know about Australians, we're slow to anger, but once we get on our feet, this fucking hell won't stop us.
Long fuse, but big boom.
Yeah, mate, yeah. And so what's basically happened is now, with the lockdown and that, they've pressured everyone and they're coercing everyone. The government are shitting themselves. So what the government are doing, they're putting it back onto the employers to put the pressures onto us to either take a paycheck, keep your house going, keep food on the table for your family, or walk away, get sacked. So we've got solicitors now, or your lawyers, we call them solicitors and that.
Yeah.
They're actually taking on the New South Wales government at the moment to throw it right back in their faces. Because the thing is, everything they're doing to us now is unconstitutional. We've got a constitution, but it's under the English constitution.
Okay.
Now, are you guys still United Kingdom?
We're part of the Commonwealth.
What does that mean?
Well, that means we're still got Queen as the head of state.
What can she do? Does she command war?
Well, if England's under attack, we've got to go automatically. The Queen, she's got a representative in Australia called the Governor General. Now, the Governor General, you might have heard a famous case years ago, Gough Whitlam. He was Prime Minister. The Governor General, the Liberal Party, well, he was Labor leader, he was Prime Minister, and he was against Vietnam. So he didn't want to send Australian troops and all that sort of shit. So what happened was the Governor General got in with the Liberal Party leader at the time, and they sacked the Prime Minister. Actually, that's the Queen's representative sacking the Prime Minister of the country. That then sent us to an election. And of course, if someone gets sacked, then everyone thinks, fuck, what have they done? So they vote for the other guy. So under an English constitution, the Governor General, if he's got enough votes or whatever, he can sack whoever's in power at the time and just get rid of him. So it's completely different, you guys.
Yeah, I was just actually
so
listen to that for a second. I just want to point. Oh, go ahead.
Australia is very similar to Ireland, Scotland, everybody in the UK, Canada, they all loosely fall under the Queen. She doesn't have a whole lot of power left anymore, other than in title, but they're all under the Queen still.
She's already 7, she won't be coming here much more.
How much power does the King of Spain have?
Fucked if I know, mate. I'm not Spanish.
None.
Well, yeah, I'm not English. You know what I mean? It's like,
not as much as the Queen of England, because he's only got Spain.
No, I understand what he says. Like, if England goes to war, we're going with them. But same thing from here. If England goes to war, so is the United States. We're going right with them. Just like if Australia goes to war, we're coming right with them because.
Yeah.
Well, the
I'll
allies
tell you what,
versus the
mate.
Axis, right? That's the way it's always
We
been,
could
the free
handle a couple-
world.
We could handle a couple 100,000 of yous out here at the moment. Honestly, like our boys. What's going on is I'll give you a quick rundown if you want.
Yeah,
you
sure.
want to hear about
No, I've been dying to hear what's happening, man, because I'm having a really tough time finding shit that's not video from a cell phone. And we
Well,
don't
it is-
do a whole lot of video share on this. So like I'm not getting anything that's happening.
Well, there's a couple of good people to follow. Avi Yemeni on Rebel News Australia.
There's a
And
Rebel
Rural
Australia.
Rebel News
News.
Australia.
Well, I'm
Yep.
assuming it's related to the Canadian one.
It is, yes. A
Yeah.
guy called Avi Yemeni. He's running it out here in Australia.
Okay.
And follow him. He gets right in amongst it, and he gives straight down to earth, like correspondence. No bullshit.
Like he's on the
None of
street
that.
showing you what's happening while he's doing it.
Mate, he's been arrested. He's been thrown to the ground, videotaped, and he gets out every time. He's got a great solicitor.
So like Andy No during the Antifa riots, he was the guy out there actually getting his ass kicked by Antifa while recording it.
Yeah. Well, that's what Avi does, and he's
Yeah.
Jewish too, mate. So they a few of the assholes hate him even more. I love the guy. And another guy called Rural Rushkin. Mate, follow him, and you'll see everything. I've sent you a few links.
Yeah.
That's what he's got.
There's a
What he did.
handful, but I didn't know which ones. I go watch a handful of them. I was like, this is cool, but like I can't share this on the show, you know?
Yeah, you can. You got permission.
Oh, I had to
Basically,
figure that
what's
out.
happened is that this in Queensland's opened up. Queensland's a state above us, right? They've opened up for business. Northern Territory's open for business, and Western Australia's open for business. So we've got all these states that are closing down. New South Wales can't go to Queensland, Northern Territory, Tasmania, South Australia, and all that. Same as Victoria. Now, Victoria and New South Wales, my state, are the most tyrannical premiers at the moment. They are fucking. They've cut out Parliament, so they can't go back and have to answer for their actions. They're actually taking emergency actions at the moment.
Mhm.
Aren't you
It's
guys
uncomfortable.
closing down for like 1 or 2 cases in the area? Yeah.
My state's got about 8 million people in the state. We've only had about 1,000 cases.
Oh my
They're fucking
god!
locking us all down.
Yeah.
People are losing businesses. People are losing
Hold
their
on.
businesses. Their
You said there's
livelihoods.
how many people live in your state?
8 million?
You're kidding me.
No, mate. And there's about 1,000.
It's an enormous piece of land too, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
We're about the same size of America, except for Alaska and Hawaii.
Mhm.
Not a,
That many people live in my state, man. I live in a tiny little state.
yeah.
Yeah,
We've got
but
a population-
but you didn't. Did you hear the second part of his statement? How many people have died from COVID out of the 8 million?
Not many.
about 1,000. That's just
And they're
in Moscow,
locking down.
And
Still.
the thing is, they haven't counted the numbers of people who've been double vaxxed. The ones being double vaxxed, their numbers are there, but they're not counted. So they're trying to fucking hoodwink us all with that bullshit.
And here's another question: is how many people died with COVID versus died of COVID?
Exactly.
You know, like
Exactly.
there's actually cases counted here in the United States where someone was in a motorcycle accident, was decapitated. They died with COVID, so it was put down as a COVID-related death. And that's
know, we
been
haven't had
documented. And it was brought up. It's like, what the hell? You know?
Yeah.
You know, we haven't had a flu death since 2019.
Neither we haven't had many in America either. They're not
We
counting.
we've been talking about that. I don't know how long you've been paying attention to the show, Ron. I did appreciate though the picture you sent me of you cracking open a cold beer to listen to the show.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, mate, I love yous all the time. Did you hear about the guy who got shot, shagged his mate's missus?
What did those words mean?
The guy got shot, shagged his mate's missus.
You said the
Just
same
give her
words
the old
again.
Let's give him the old Wellington boot.
The Wellington boot. Someone got kicked out of their house.
No, he got shot, mate. He was put down to COVID. He was the 1,000th case.
Oh, I have no idea.
I'll tell you later.
Who the hell? Yeah, who the hell is in charge of your country right now?
So, mate, that's a good question. Scott Morrison, he's supposed to be the Prime Minister. He fucks off for you, mate. We had major bushfires. Guess where he went? He went to Hawaii. Went on Hawaii.
Went to Hawaii.
Let me guess. He was one of these guys. I bet he was screaming global warming the whole time.
Yeah, fucking went to Hawaii.
Then went to a place that's 1.5 feet above sea level.
We're in lockdown. The whole country's in lockdown. He's gone over to America. He's gone out to kiss Joe Biden's ass. How's that?
That's
What do
where
you
it
think?
is.
What do you think's gonna happen, man? You think your government's gonna give in, or you think they're going to just start tear gassing the population?
Well, mate, this is where we're at now. We've already been tear gassed. We've had rubber bullets shot at us.
Oh, I didn't
Mate.
know, and bean bags and everything. I didn't know that.
No beanbags, mate. Fucking rubber bullets. The big fucking.
Yeah, and
Shot at
I've
us,
seen
mate.
the videos of people. I saw the Australian Rambo. You know what I'm talking about? The guy was like running around, like grabbing cops and throwing them on their face. Like he didn't actually fist fight him, but he just like he knocked him down and like went and got another one and knocked him down. I was like,
Well, then
Jesus,
look at him.
shit!
Sorry, mate.
I was supposed to have a big giant knife on the wall and in preparation for you, so I could say that's a knife.
That's not a knife, mate. Yeah, that's a knife.
Yeah, no, I got
It better be a big one.
I got an 18-inch Bowie knife.
Crocodile Dundee.
Hey, at least he's not drinking Foster's.
Of course
Thank
not.
God.
Nobody in Australia drinks Foster.
Nobody drinks Foster's.
You guys in the Poms, mate.
What is it?
Overseas.
What is it? A VC? No.
CB.
Yeah. What's it called? It's
Toonie's new, mate. That's a
Toonie's new. I haven't. Oh my god. I don't think I've had a Toonie's.
I haven't had Toonies yet.
There's
Toonie's,
a
mate.
Victoria's bitter is what I'm thinking.
Oh, mate, yeah, the only way we drink that's down the drain.
Yeah, I
Stick
heard that's
straight
like the
down
cheap, like the. I heard that's like the lowest class beer, like the cheapest beer you can get, like a 40 here.
Well, it's a bit funny. You guys got Mexicans south of the border. We call our Victorians Mexicans.
Fucking love it. I love it. By the way, they locked you down because this fucking virus, it's killing people. Doesn't everything in Australia kill people?
Especially if you're giving your mates Mrs. a Wellington boot. That'll kill you too.
You have those little desert lobsters that sting you.
Oh, mate, we've got about 15,000 fucking things.
I
That
mean,
kill
we
you
have
walking.
scorpions here too, but only in certain parts of the country. Oh, but like, yeah, we wiped out, well, not wiped out. We've put most of our deadly animals into an area where we can keep them safe and keep us safe. Like, there's still rattlesnakes here. We don't let them come into our fucking houses like you guys do.
Oh, I took a photo. It was last year, mate. I red belly black snake just called up here. I got a bit of a cross road from here, radio, a fucking big paddock and that. A couple of goats and chooks and fucking shit like that, mate. And I went out one day, I was having a beer and I thought I'd seen something out the front. I walked out the front, looked up, big fucking red belly black snake, sticking up. He's only thirsty.
That's a good reason to own a pistol. Oh, it really is, isn't it?
No, they keep the brown snakes away. Brown snake's the second deadliest snake in the world.
Yeah, and you guys also have the blue ring octopus, the most venomous thing on the planet.
Yeah, those things will kill you pretty fucking quick.
And they're tiny.
Yeah, mate, they're only about that big.
They're really pretty,
Box
though.
jellyfish. Box, yeah, mate, yeah.
I actually
went to
saw a
get some
video
pick 'em up.
recently of a guy like picked one up out of this water bed, like in the sand. He had no idea what it was, and he's videoing it. And like, oh yeah, look at it. He put it back in the water, and the caption was like, "This dude has no idea how close he was to dying."
Oh, got to tell you a funny story, eh? Well, a friend of mine a couple of years ago, he had a relay come out from Canada. So anyway, we took him out bush, we had a bit of a barbecue and all that. Anyway, sitting down, having something to eat, and they've got all these stories of Australia going, fucking everything's going to kill you. This is going to get you. No, don't do this and don't do that. Anyway, we're sitting down in the middle of the bush and we're just about to eat. She's coming down, she sat next to me and I said, oh, I wouldn't sit there if I was you. And she shit herself. You know, saying, what's going to fucking get me? What's going to get me? I said, no, I was just going to put my view down there.
Yeah.
You should have seen the shot like that, 10 foot in the air.
It's funny though, because Australia, the way a lot of it is just still desert. That's pretty much uninhabited.
Uh-huh.
But that's pretty much the way the old West was too, before it got inhabited. Like when the guys were on the ways out, when Lois and Clark set out, they were, finding weird new animals with venom and stuff. And
you couldn't get out back and live out there. You're talking about temperatures about 40.
There's a lot more
degrees
rivers
cold, eh?
through North America. That's for sure. There's a lot more water.
You're talking
running
about
through the
45
country.
degree heat in Australia, Celsius. That's probably about 120, I think. Yours,
Celsius.
45 degrees Celsius. That's on a cool day.
You
That's
said
before the sun
120 Celsius?
No, 45.
45.
Oh, I thought you said 120 Celsius. Like, holy
No,
shit.
Fahrenheit.
No,
I don't know.
100's boiling. So
Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, about 45 degrees on a cool day, mate, in the middle of the outback. Get to about 45, 50.
Sorry, every time you throw out a centigrade number, I have to do math in my head. What sucks is
how long
I,
you been drinking?
11 since 11 a.m. It's 8:30 p.m. now.
It's
By the way,
10:32 a.m. Sunday, mate. Yeah,
as I say,
future's looking good.
oh, there you go. You were right, Brian. I was wrong.
I told you it's close to.
I thought it went the other
He's-
way. I thought you were.
Well, in Perth it's 12 hours, so
Yeah.
that's I
apparently
got
the
my buddy in
international clock
Perth.
goes the other way. I thought it went.
No,
No,
he's ahead of us.
10:32 Sunday. 10:32 Sunday, boys. Your future's
So-
looking good.
Hey, can I get the Can I get the lottery numbers?
I'll tell you what, just do me a favour tomorrow, mate. Don't go to the shop early. I can't say it's going to hit. Just don't go early. Yeah, but anyway, get back to it, mate. Basically, what's going down is the Victorian government and New South Wales governments put the pressure on everyone. And it's just we're at the point now everyone's bursting at the seams. And what happened the other day where all this rioting started, it wasn't rioting. You might have seen in the video I sent you, CFMEU. That stands for Construction, Forestry, Mining and Electrical Union.
They're calling them what, the orange vest protests
No, they're builders,
instead
mate.
of the
They're
yellow
builders.
vest that they had in France.
No, they're builders, mate. They were down in Melbourne. And what happened was they were told they had till this Thursday this week to get the jab or lose their jobs.
The jab.
So what they did, they went out and they said, fuck it. And no, they're talking about the kids. They're talking about everyone. You know, they're going out protest. And that's one of the biggest unions in Australia. And the reason why they attacked that building was because that's their union representatives in there. The union representatives have been bought out and they're fucking going by the rhetoric of the government saying, you guys got to have jabs. And the boys are standing there saying, no, we pay you union fees. You represent us. You go what the majority says. And that's where it all come from. Union reps wouldn't come out to face the boys and that. Then all of a sudden the armed cops come in, special tactical cops come in, and then all of a sudden it kicked off. So that's where it all come from. And the mainstream media selling it that the builders and the construction workers started the riots, and that wasn't the case at all.
Well, I also heard that Facebook and Instagram shut down all the live feeds in Australia too.
Yeah,
That's
that's why we're having so much trouble getting information about what's going on, because it's being censored. And the only thing I can't find is cell phone footage. And that's being shut down as fast as I can find it. But we don't typically share video when we do this, because realistically, I want this to be an audio program. I want it to be a podcast, not a video thing.
Yep. We really need to get the word out there, mate, because you guys need to understand what's happening. We're the test case for the rest of the world, the rest of the free world. Once they fucking hit us, they're going to hit everyone else, mate.
That's why I'm watching Australia so hard, but they're making sure that I can't see what's happening. And it makes me nervous. Should I buy more ammo?
I would.
Yes.
I would. I'm not a violent
No,
man.
the answer is always yes, right? No, and
Well-
realistically, always buy more ammo. The rest of the world thought I was crazy for decades. Now all of a sudden they're going, maybe that dude wasn't so fucking crazy.
Well, you guys got what's the biggest non-conscripted army in the world? What do you got, about 70 million people?
There's more guns in this country than people, and we have 330 million people.
70 million non-conscripted militia you guys have got.
Oh yeah. You're talking about the National Guard. That's
No, I'm
just
talking about people with guns. I'm talking about people with guns.
yeah. There's at least 70 million people that own guns, but there are more guns than people in this country. I mean, I own more guns than my family has people in it.
Well, our biggest problem is at the moment is the mainstream media shutting things down. They're in bed with the politicians and they're in bed with big pharma. And what's happening is now people don't realise it. Our armed forces, we're starting our army turning on each other in the armed forces. Our police are starting to back up now. They're saying, hey, what we've done is unconstitutional and wrong. There are police now starting to take our side, the normal people in the street. We've now got nurses, we've got teachers, we've got doctors, and everyone's starting to come on board. and joining these mass marches.
I'd
You know?
like to read the Constitution of Australia. I'm sure it's very
Yes.
different from the United States Constitution. And I'd like to point out to anyone who is listening or watching that the Australian pointed out that the United States Constitution is a precious thing that we cannot let go. That's what makes us special, right?
Yeah.
You guys got the most perfect, governing body to look after yourself called the Constitution.
Is-
It's a living body. It's an actual
Yes.
living body.
But the problem is that's only a document. We have to enforce it ourselves. You cannot
Well,
expect the Constitution to protect you.
I've noticed in the last couple of years, like, honestly, you Democrat, I'm not here to rip your party or anyone apart in America. You Democrats are ripping
Go
away
nuts.
the Constitution. They're fucking
trying.
ripping into it. And like, I'm strong. If I was an American, I'd be a Republican, mate. Honestly, I'd be a proud Republican. I'm sorry about saying it, but I think,
Brian's a registered Republican.
Yep.
no,
Jeffrey
mate,
is not. Even
I've
though he
been a
votes
Labor-
that way most of the time.
Most of the time, I agree with the Republicans, but I think the Republican Party is just as stupid as the Democrats.
Mate, look, there's no perfect politician. I've been a Labor voter all my life. My family were, because Labor supported the unions. Then they've gone away from the working person.
Well,
They've
that's
gone away from the
exactly the same thing I've had this same conversation with my parents. My dad was a union man his whole life, so he always votes
Voted
Democrat,
Democrat.
no matter what. No matter whether he agrees with it or not. He
And they
always
take a
thinks that
dump
the
on him. They take
Democrat-
away his paycheck and he still votes Democrat.
Yeah, exactly. I've tried to have discussions with him. It's a losing battle, so I've stopped having discussions with him about it.
Well, that's the problem is that most people don't know what they're voting for.
No.
At least Americans. I don't know. Maybe Australians pay more attention.
Well, we have, mate, over the last couple of years, and it's starting to change. We were generation voters, and that's all changing. Demographics are changing. We got more people coming from overseas now in Australia, which is a good thing. Like, diversity is good. But the thing is, they're coming with different ideas. Now, I've gone away this year. It's going to be the first year I never vote for Labor again. I've walked away from the Labor Party, which would be the Democrat Party. There's a new party starting in Australia called the United Australian Party.
Oh no, he's going third party.
Nice.
Yeah, go third party, mate.
He's libertarian, dude.
Like you.
Just give me back my gun and I'll be right.
Well, the way I see it in the United States, a gay man should be able to, with his husband, should be able to defend his marijuana fields with an automatic weapon.
I've got no problem with that.
That's the
My
way I
son's
see it.
gay. I love my son, he's gay.
Don't be trying to steal that man's pot, right?
I've got a sign at the door that says, fuck off, don't come in.
Like, I don't give a fuck what you're doing, dude. Just don't steal from me. Is basically my entire view on the world.
But do you guys notice that too? Like, I don't know about America, but my father was a staunch homophobic. Mate, that was the generation back then.
For a long time, it was.
And I think times change, people change, and ideas change. And
I don't give a shit if you suck a dick or a clit, you know?
As long as I've got a cold beer in the fridge, I don't care. I'll sit down and watch TV with you. I'll take that study with you. But the things change, and I find with political parties that once they move away from their roots of who they were, that's it. They've sold the soul to the devil.
Right.
That's where I think that's why I don't think I follow the Republican Party as much as people think I should. It's because the Republicans aren't what they started out as.
No, nobody
No.
is.
No, exactly. I think they've moved too far from it because the Republican Party started with Abraham Lincoln freeing the slaves.
And the Democrats were, JFK would not fit into the Democratic Party.
No, that's not
As
what your
it's
country can do
constituted
for you,
today.
but yeah. But I can at least have a conversation with a Republican without being called a terrible name and being dismissed because I didn't immediately fall in line.
Mhm.
This is why I have fun speaking with people internationally, because Ron's given me a point of view that neither one of us was going to have,
No.
especially as an outside observer, and tell us what's actually happening in Australia. Your country's on fire, dude.
Big time, mate. Big time.
The people are stepping up, but I don't know. Are the people going to win or is the government going to win?
Mate, the people win, but there's another point to it that we haven't touched on yet. It's happening in my state. These vaccine passports, when they bring them in, mate, you know what's going to happen? It's going to create a second tier class of people.
Oh, you mean
And
it's like having to wear a gold star on your chest?
Exactly fucking right.
Hmm.
Exactly right, mate. And the government.
I
our
can't believe I
state
made the
premier-
comparison that was inappropriate.
It's not. It's not. It's exactly what's happening. Our state premier said she'd rather not be around unvaccinated people.
Why?
How the fuck?
Does the vaccine protect you?
No, it doesn't. It only stops.
Then
you
what
from
the fuck
fucking-
difference does it mean if you're actually an unvaccinated person?
Do you mind if we call it trial drug? Because it's not a fucking vaccine. It's not a vaccine. It's not a fucking vaccine, mate.
You know, it's funny is
It's like the flu shot. You know, the flu shot's not a vaccine either.
Exactly right, mate.
it is, but that's a random guess for what vaccine
Well,
variation
that's
of
what
the flu it might be.
COVID-19 is too.
See, this is what pisses me off. People have posted up shit like vaccines with like kids with smallpox and that, just to try and prove a point. They've got a picture of a kid, normal kid, a kid with smallpox. And that really fucking pisses me off because that kid's died with smallpox. You know, and that's two completely different things. There was a vaccine for that, and there's no vaccine for this shit. I trust my immune system.
Did you just say there's no vaccine for smallpox?
No, I said there was a vaccine for that, but there's no vaccine for this shit that's going on now.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
And
I'll say
people are
it's
trying to fucking. Sorry, mate. No, you're right.
well, I was just saying, I'll go as far as say this vaccine is helpful. You may still get sick, but you're less likely to get very sick.
No,
And
not because
also, they're realizing that the vaccine doesn't last nearly as long as they thought it would. That's why they're trying to push more booster shots for more people now.
Well, I'm more worried about long-term side effects because there
That's
hasn't been
all right. That's why
there
I haven't
hasn't been a
gotten the shot
long-term
yet.
study because they haven't had a long time to do this,
Yeah.
you know?
No.
and by all reports, like I'm not a doctor, but the reports what I'm reading on all the stuff I'm looking into myself, the strains or the variants are coming from these people who got the vaccination shots because it's knocking out the COVID, the SARS-CoV-2. Then it's creating a strain inside them. It's not creating a strain inside of me. It's creating a strain inside of them.
Yes. And actually, I'm pretty sure we learned this during the Spanish flu was do not try to make a vaccine while the virus is still rampant
No, and we've talked about this on the show too.
over and over because it forces mutations to survive. So the weird mutation that can get past the vaccine survives and it keeps reproducing. And all we do is force more and more mutations. And then we have the flu now. The flu has not been around forever.
Not in the last year and a half.
Well, no, I'm just saying it hasn't been around forever. It showed up and around World War I, it showed up and all of a sudden it never went away. And it kills thousands. I don't know about the rest of the world, but it kills thousands of Americans every year. Granted, not last year. No one died of the flu last year.
Shagging your mate's missus got killed you more. But the thing is, you look at it at places like Denmark and that, they've opened up the country. There's no vaccine passports. There's no segregation. There's no lockdowns. There's no nothing there. India, look what India's doing. They've got people out now. They tried to lock people down. They've got people out now exercising, getting about their everyday life. That's what builds your body immune system up.
Yeah, I mean, I got no lockdowns here. There's a couple places that require a mask to walk in. I just don't go there because I just say fuck you. And there's a couple places that say if you're not vaccinated, wear a mask, and I say fuck you, and I walk in anyway.
We've got drones on beaches, making sure people separate it, socially distance. Drones.
Are you fucking kidding me?
We've got coppers on horseback going on the beach, fucking arresting people.
Oh, are they whipping people with their reins?
No. Because we're the Mexicans.
Because they're not doing that here either.
so you don't have a bunch of Haitians.
Our Victorians, we stop them at the border.
It's a lot easier to stop people at your borders. You know, you got to have a boat or a plane to get there. So
you get on the Hume Highway, or you get fucking bitten by snakes when you get off the Hume Highway. You got to go to the bush. But the thing is, what I'm saying is, we got cops doing. We got armed forces, our soldiers are going around door to door, coppers, making sure people are at home.
Oh
People
man,
get tracked by their phones.
that's
People are
unacceptable.
actually getting tracked by their phones, where they are, what they're doing. We've got a QR code system. I don't know if you guys got in America. We've
I know
got
what a
QR
QR
in.
is.
No,
We've
but
got a
they're using their
scan.
vaccine passports with the QR code on it.
How is
Yeah,
that not
we got scan.
racist?
Exactly. It's fucking racist, mate.
It's racist because obviously black people are too stupid or not wealthy enough to own a cell phone for a QR code. Because that's the
Okay.
argument for having ID to vote in the United States right now.
Oh, mate, we got pretty smart black people out here.
Uh-huh.
They're pretty smart. We got pretty smart black people out here, mate. They make some bloody good bloody solicitors.
I don't know a single American who doesn't have identification.
But we've got to,
Yeah.
mate, we've got to.
Everybody, you have to have identification. It's what it is.
I'm sure it's everywhere.
imagine
You can't fly without identification of some sort, you know?
Especially with these
Exactly.
vaccine passports. It's like, and when does that turn not just into a passport, a vaccine passport, but an updated or a current thing? When is it? Oh, you've only had 4 shots and you should have had 5. Well, when was your last
Right.
dose? You know?
Yeah.
Wait till the people who had their 4th booster shot start blaming the people who've only had their 2nd booster shot.
That's exactly
Like
what I'm
that's-
talking about, man. I've been talking about this for about a year, haven't I, Brian?
Yes, yeah.
What have I been calling it?
I don't remember. I'm usually drunk on the show, so.
Well, malaria pills.
Oh yeah, malaria.
It's
pills.
gonna be you need to take a pill every day to stop it from happening.
Well,
until it
I
goes
believe
away.
I saw a post from Tina that finally admitted you were right. That the COVID-19 pill is on its way.
True, but that is not to prevent it. That is, if you are sick, it's supposed to help.
Okay.
Yes. But yeah,
Right.
exactly. And she's like, "Oh my God, you're right. They're gonna give you a twice daily pill for this shit." And I was like, "I told you, this is a giant money making operation."
Yep.
The rest of your life.
And
At
what
least
was
if you marry a woman, you get rid of her.
what was Pfizer
can't
known
really-
for before this vaccine?
The flu shot.
Pfizer,
Flu
really?
shot,
I thought
yeah.
it was dick pills.
Oh, that
No,
too.
the flu shot. No, the internet, isn't it? You can get them on bloody Facebook now.
Yeah,
The Facebook hardener.
but Pfizer is the one who made the Viagra pill, the little
Yeah.
blue pill.
They come up in all my bloody every third bloody scroll I go down. Mate. There's one blue pill.
Should we sit in bathtubs in a field now?
Remember, like, isn't it funny? You go through years, Matt. Everyone, like every generation, you got something you can invest money in. Like in the 70s, it wouldn't have been condoms; it would have been bloody LSD. In bloody 80s, condoms.
Right
to know
now?
what AIDS give you.
Right now, I'm
Mate.
throwing money into marijuana.
Marijuana.
As we're
napkins.
legalizing it nationwide, I am buying stock in a bunch of pot companies, and I'm not kidding you.
Oh,
I'm
mate.
expecting to lose out somewhat on some because they go under, but at least most of these companies are going to take off as these companies that are already surviving are going to only get bigger as we make it more and more legal in this country. Because more states you can smoke pot in than you can't now.
Well, mate, medical marijuana, we haven't really got that approved out
Dude,
here yet.
we're
past that here.
recreational approved. You know, I can just go buy it because I want to get stoned. Like that's okay. Same thing as
Mate,
buying beer.
We go down to Tasmania for that, but we're in lockdown. They got us locked out at the moment.
Yeah, that's why I bought a whole bunch of this. I got this weird feeling in the pit of my stomach that I'm getting in the bottom of like Philip Morris, the cigarettes company. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like if I can get into the bottom of cigarettes on the ground floor of cigarettes, I'd be a billionaire. But if you can go to the store and buy a pack of joints, like that sounds like the way to do this. Instead of having to go to a dispensary, why can't I just go to Mobile, the gas station, and buy a pack of joints?
I don't think you're going to see that in your lifetime.
You'll have
I
to
don't-
see what episode of Simpsons it was on, mate. Because everything the Simpsons have said has all come true, isn't it?
Well, Simpsons had so many episodes. Obviously, a lot of it's going to happen. You know what I mean? You
I
ever know-
stopped watching The Simpsons like 3 or 4 years ago. You know?
Oh, geez, I gave it Simpsons a decade ago at least.
My favourite was on, mate, when Trump come down the elevator.
Let's make fun of Australia for a minute, though, for being behind the times.
Yeah,
Okay.
mate, yeah, let's do it. Even though we're in a few
I'm not
months.
going to throw out your address, but when I got a Hotmail address, I laughed so hard.
A lot of people still have Hotmail addresses. It's been rolled into Microsoft, you know. I mean, you either have Outlook or Hotmail, you know. It's all the same.
Hotmail is Yahoo, right?
No, it's
You
Microsoft.
didn't realize I sent you a Gmail as well, did you? Did you say I sent you a Gmail as well?
That's right. No, you're right. I have an @Yahoo account too.
Yes, you do.
It's only because I started liking you, Jeffrey.
Yeah. Well, hey, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Maybe it's you Aussies helping me out, but I'm actually getting more and more subscribers on my YouTube, and I'm getting more and more views.
Oh, I said to my friend today, you better watch later on. I said they're only recording today.
Oh yeah, if you're on it, especially, man, I expect to see like 30 to 50 views. I expect you to share this out to all your buddies. Hey, I told those American assholes what's going on. They should show up here with their fucking guns and fix this shit for us.
I actually sent an email out my Hotmail account saying Brian's okay, but Jeffrey's a bit of a prick sometimes.
I like that. I'm all about that.
What's funny is I have access to the same email account.
You never look at it though.
No, I actually read it before you did, but I'm trying to do the separation of powers thing, where you do the bookings and everything, and I do the format. But I had a giant format set up for like a 3-hour show because it's enormous. We're not going to talk about any of that shit tonight.
Doesn't look like it.
I've got to be honest with you guys. Like, you said, oh, can you read this, blah, 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 and all that. And when I got it, I was on night shift. I just don't fucking read anything when I'm on night shift, boys. I just discard all that sort of stuff.
Do you know you can get an audio-only version of the show?
Oh, I couldn't, mate, but I'm behind the times in Australia. Give me a couple of weeks to catch up.
Well, I'm just saying, you can listen to it at work on Monday or whatever, without having to like have your YouTube running. It could be on through your podcast or whatever device you have.
That'll be our Tuesdays, mate. That'll be our Tuesdays.
Yeah.
That's because he's in the future. That's why I need the lottery
numbers. That's why he's so smart.
Well, we record Saturday here because we're both Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
And that's funny because I almost sent you, instead of saying 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I almost sent you like Greenwich Mean Time plus whatever. Because I
figured
knew,
he would know, he could figure it out Eastern Standard Time, you know, it's that popular of a time zone.
Yeah, well,
but I knew it was going to be at least 8 o'clock in the morning his time. Yeah, well, and I didn't know how many people in Australia are drinking beer at 8 o'clock in the morning, you know. So there you go.
He's pouring that in his Cheerios, dude.
I didn't realize you work nights, so that makes a whole lot more sense now.
We only need one, boys. That's all it counts.
Actually, the best part was when you sent me that picture of you cracking open a beer to listen to the show. The wife looks at it, she goes, "Oh, great, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. This dude's sending you a picture of him like cracking open a beer." I was like, "Actually, I'm pretty sure it's like 10 p.m." I'm pretty sure that's actually the exact opposite side of the planet.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much.
I've got to tell you a funny story, but I raced home this morning because I finished work at 7 o'clock this morning. So I've been a whole week of night shift now. So
what time is it there now?
10:55 a.m.
All right, it's 8:55 p.m. here.
So he's 2 hours ahead of us.
12.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 14 hours. 14 hours ahead of us.
Yeah, it's another day for him.
I'll be sleeping soundly about 9 o'clock tonight, boys.
I appreciate you doing this, man.
Yeah, and, this is awesome.
And honestly, if you can get some of your buddies on, I'd love to hear from them. I'd love to hear another point of view, especially what's going on down there, man. Like, I think the entire world needs to be watching Australia right now.
Definitely.
And all jokes aside, boys, that's what we need. That's what we need. Mainstream media aren't letting it out. The Australian government are trying to cut it all down. We're just getting shut down. And the thing that's going to kill us is that, the world's not going to know the truth.
Yes. And the winners get to write history.
Yeah. And we're not going to let them, mate. We're fighting back. And as I said, Australians are slow to anger. But once we get pissed off, mate, there's nothing's going to stop us. And the thing is, what's in front of us right now is that the people who are doing all the shit, it's like, did you see that Dan Bongino report on it all?
Dan Bongino.
Now, well, he gave a great example. He said, right, we're like a beach ball at the moment. You know, when you try and keep a beach ball or ball underwater for so long, you can't, your arms get sore.
Yeah.
And the ball keeps rising up. Well, we're the ball, mate. And the authorities of those.
It's gonna come back up.
It's going to come up, mate.
But how many people have to die? Like for real, like what do you have to do as an Australian citizen to get the right to keep and bear arms back as something legal in your country? Like, is there a process for you to do this short of overthrowing the government? Like, is there an actual process that you can do?
We need a government. We need a political party in power that are going to run with that.
But you could actually amend whatever the rules are to say that you are allowed to own a gun in your home because fuck you, I'm allowed to have a gun.
Well, that's the thing that I was saying to you before is, Jeff, the thing is, mate, you guys got the Constitution. That is the greatest powerful fucking thing in the world besides the Bible. That's
why I am fighting to support it, but I don't want to pick up a weapon until I think it's absolutely necessary. You know?
Nobody wants to go out and shoot somebody over like this. What's got to happen is we've got to stand together as one, the world over, mate, because once it hits Australia, mate, it'll take over New Zealand. New Zealand will fall straight away.
Oh, those Kiwis, man, what? They got some tasty fruit, though.
Mate, they have. But we've got some nice ones here, too.
I'm sure you do. The kiwi. That's a fruit from way down there, right?
From New Zealand, yeah.
Oh, that's
they got Vegemite.
No,
that's so disgusting. I can't believe you guys eat that shit. And is that the shit that tastes like peanut butter or chocolate spread?
No, mate. It's as black as my jumper. You guys got the Constitution. It separates you from the rest of the world. We got Vegemite.
I've had a Vegemite sandwich.
Did you put it on thick or nice and thick?
It made me think of fluff.
No, mate. Yeah. Look, the funniest thing I've ever seen was an American try to eat Vegemite. They put it on really thick. They go, "Oh, this looks good," you know. Like their first bite, that's their last bite.
It's so thick. There's a lot of funny videos making fun of Americans doing stuff like that. But let's be fair. The United States is a giant country.
Mate, I was there 2 years ago. I loved it.
Huh?
Oh yeah, where'd you come to? Where'd you visit?
Mate, he didn't come here. I saw you were in New York, and that's seriously within 100 miles of me.
No. We went to LA. We went to Anaheim. Around did the touristy bits around Santa Monica.
California. Never mind.
Venice Beach. I was never so stoned in my life. Just walking past those little shitty shacks. I was off me dial just walking up down there.
I don't know why the East Coast gets so much credit.
Yeah, mate. Well, we were pretty lucky after we went there. We went to England, France, Scotland, Ireland, and Hong Kong. So yeah, we did a pretty good tour.
I was in Hong Kong before it was back to the Chinese when it was still a British colony. So
how good was it, eh? Mate, I had a great time in Hong Kong.
I got into this is actually a good segue point if you guys want to talk about some recent politics in the United States. AOC recently just cried on the floor of the Congress because
I saw that.
Well, this is the best part. This is the best part was it was 420 to 9 against her. But what's even better is she didn't actually vote no. She changed her vote.
She voted present against Israel.
She won't take away their fucking defense program. That granted, the United States is funding it, and there is a valid argument. Why are we paying for it? I understand that, but she said it's a fucking weapon, and it's not.
How is it a weapon when it defends Israel from missile attacks?
What's it, something like $420 million or something, wasn't it? Or something around that figure? Or
But I will say, why is the United States throwing trillions of dollars a year around the world to help other nations build their fucking national defense? And then these countries turn around and tell us you guys should have nationalized health care. It's like, we probably would if we weren't funding your fucking national defense. You know what I mean?
Oh, mate, look, I applaud when fucking Donald Trump came in and told the UN to go fuck themselves, mate. That was the best thing he's ever done.
Yeah.
And
It's like, seriously, like Australia, like, I love you guys. Like, why are we giving you $100 billion a year to build weapons? It's like,
I
for
mean,
real,
he did it with
why are we
NATO
doing
too.
that?
I'm like, he's totally supporting NATO, but he was like, hey, you countries in Europe that we are providing all your defense for, you're not contributing enough to NATO. You know, he's like, you guys don't have any reason to contribute to your own national defense because we're doing it for you.
Now, I will say the Australians, they do have a pretty strong military.
Yeah. Australia, I'm talking Germany.
In terms of how many people they have in that country. But like, how many people live in Australia combined?
Just under 26 million.
That's less than New England. That's less than Virginia. That's not true. It's bigger than Virginia. It's definitely smaller than Texas.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, and like I said, Australia's got a pretty badass military because those dudes, let's admit it, they can swing their dicks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. That's pretty good.
But you only got 26 million people, and then what? 1% of the population is enlisted.
Yep, not even that.
So that's that's not a lot. Yeah. That's not a lot of not a huge military. That means you can only do so much fighting with a smaller force.
But you look at where we're isolating the rest of the world. We're down the bottom of the world, but you guys don't realize
you guys are right next to China.
We've got 120 million. No,
okay,
Indonesia, mate. We've got 120 million fucking Indonesians just above us. They all pray to Allah, and mate, they got little tiny islands. You know what I mean?
Indonesians are actually pretty. They've been pretty peaceful for the last like 200 years. Let's be honest here.
We give them a lot of money for their military, and we should be stopping it. We should be fucking stopping it.
Yeah, and why are we funding everyone else's military? Like, exactly. Why is that blows my mind even more? Is that we're giving money to Australia to fund their military, but at the same time, Australia's giving money to someone else to fund their military. What the fuck is going on here? Why can't we all worry about our own fucking dicks, right?
Well, you look at fucking when Trump went and said to NATO, fuck you guys, instead of a little German Sally, fucking you signing up an energy deal with Russia. We're defending you guys against Russia. You fucking yelling out that's taking our money.
Did you see this shit that they're looking to make a shit? What's her name? I keep wanting to say Margaret Sanger, but she was the Planned Parenthood woman. Angela Merkel.
German.
They're
Sally.
looking to make her like the chief, whatever, of the EU.
Oh boy.
Nah.
Of all the countries to put in charge of shit, Germany is the one that scares me. Like Afghanistan, some shit happened. Germany declared war 2 different times against the entire world.
Yeah.
And what's even worse is the entire world should easily beat that, right? No, the world barely won either time.
Yeah.
They can fight, mate. Those fucking Germans are good fighters. You got to give them credit.
They are brilliant engineers. They invented the automobile.
Yeah, and the Autobahn.
You can't do what you used to be able to do on Autobahn. But the Germans invented the automobile, but Henry Ford made it affordable.
Can I ask you 2 very serious question, boys?
Sure.
Right now, lifetimes. What's the greatest event that you've ever seen in your lifetime?
What do you mean by greatest event?
Anything that's happened in the world. What's the greatest event you've ever seen happen in your life?
9/11.
I was gonna say the same thing.
It broke my soul in half.
And I was in the Pentagon on 9/11.
I was hit by a plane.
Yeah, right.
No, he really was.
We seen it, mate, and like we fell for you guys. And isn't it funny how everything's turned around now?
Right.
People seem to forget about it. Every 9/11, every year.
It was so long ago.
It was only 20 years ago.
People are voting that weren't alive when it happened.
I know. That's a problem with, especially America in general. because if it didn't happen in their lifetimes, they don't want to realize, they don't want to recognize it and deal with it. So,
see that affected everyone around the world. Like we had Australians who died in the towers as well too. We had people went down there as well.
Oh, yeah, because in the World Trade Center,
the entire world sent help immediately.
Businesses were, and they had people from. It was international in the World Trade Centers. You know, it wasn't just Americans in there. Definitely.
I still remember I woke up and I was watching television and I was watching the live events happen. I remember exactly what I said. I was in the Pentagon when the first plane hit the World Trade Center, and we had on the cable TV. And, you know, I was like, this is crazy, you know.
And the second one, he like, this isn't an accident. This was on purpose. This is an attack.
Well, yeah, and, you know, and that's when I said, hey, the Pentagon be an easy target too, because we're right off the flight path of an airport in Washington, D.C. And
it's the largest building in the planet in terms of footprint on the ground.
And no,
it's easy to hit.
And the next thing I knew, the whole building shook. No alarms went off in the wing we were in. We just moved into this new constructed area of the Pentagon. The alarms weren't even working yet. And and so we sent people out into the center part of the rings to deal with it, to see what was going on. And that's when they came back and said, hey, there's smoke billowing out of the Pentagon. We need to evacuate. So,
all right, not that we're trying to get down 9/11, but he asked us what the most, whatever it is, that was the most big deal news. What were you gonna say, Ron?
Well, not taking anything away from 9/11. Mine was when Donald Trump, the greatest president ever, walked in in North Korea and said, "We got to put a fucking Trump Tower there. You're going to get 2 McDonald's over there straight away."
He walked across a demilitarized zone. He flat up walked right across it and shook Kim Jong-un's hand.
So you're going to put a Trump Tower there for you, and we're going to put 2 McDonald's right there.
Yeah, and we'll put a McDonald's over here, and we'll all fucking shake hands, and we'll all make fucking money.
Yeah,
because
that's what Donald Trump
work, and we can buy their shit.
That's why people voted for Donald Trump in the beginning, is because he was a businessman. He wasn't a politician. And he was always looking for a way to reform the American government to make it more efficient.
If you can move money, people make money, right?
Yep. The problem is there's too many politicians and the American government that are stuck in their ways. They're happy with how they're making their money.
They want to take money. They want to tax
all their donors, mate. If you get rid of their donors and make them all write down exactly what they're getting, who they're getting from, and put them on term limits, mate. Tell them they can only be in office for such a period of time.
Yeah, but the problem is the people that vote for term limits are the people that we want to put term limits on.
Yeah,
exactly. But the thing is, mate, what I was talking about with Donald Trump out here in Australia, our mainstream media made him out to be a fucking idiot. Made him out because they followed.
Everybody did.
Everybody did. Mate, I was one of his greatest advocates. Jeffrey will tell you. Yeah, I pumped all this stuff about Donald Trump on fucking Facebook, mate. I got banned 4 times for it. Being a Trump supporter, I got 4 30-day bans just for supporting the guy. When I went to America, the first thing I looked for was my MAGA hat.
I got mega koozies
on my sailboat. So,
I love that guy. And the thing about it was, you look at throughout the year, like we were told that Donald Trump was going to create nuclear war, North Korea. He's going to take on Russia. He's going to destroy the world. The world's gone. That's what was getting pumped to us.
Right.
Then the guys come out in his fucking blue jacket, blue suit. Fucking come here, Kim. Let's go and have a beer, mate.
He's the only president in the last, 40 years to not start a new conflict.
No, he pulled us out of pretty much all the conflicts in the process.
People were telling him a warmonger when he was ending fights. He's like, why are we? He tried to get us out of Afghanistan. Yeah. Congress told him to fuck himself.
And he did eventually say, hey, we're coming out. He set the date,
but he left it to Biden to do it,
and Biden delayed it until August. But
here you go. Hey, Ronnie. I'm sorry. Am I allowed to call you Ronnie, or is that not acceptable?
Call me anything, mate, except late for a beer.
Call me a Yankee.
No, I said call me anything except late for a beer.
Late for a beer.
All right. Yeah. Well, we have a similar saying. Anything late for dinner.
Nah, fuck dinner, mate. When you're gonna have a beer.
You can have beer for dinner. I've invited friends over for a liquid lunch.
It'd be liquid dinner then.
Start at 8 a.m. in the morning.
What do you guys think of what happened in Afghanistan with in terms of the U.S. pullout? Because Brian and I have had our discussion. We think we did it completely wrong. We think we took a dump and then pissed on the dump on our allies' foreheads.
Well, mate, I think it's gone beyond treason. If you can have treason outside of your country on an international scale, I think he's done that.
I know what you mean by treason, but in terms of the laws here, treason means we have to be at war with the country for them to be an enemy.
Well, put it this way. I understand what you're saying, mate. Put it this way. I think it is the biggest fucking disgraceful thing I've seen in my last 52 years. How many people died?
Basically, my friends died for nothing.
Yeah.
How many people, I was about to say, mate, how many people gave their fucking lives and their families up?
My friends, and I had friends commit suicide over this war.
I've had mates who went forward over there too, mate. I lost mates over there as well.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying Australia wasn't there because they were there.
No.
And then we bailed out and left Australia behind.
Well, what I'm saying, this has affected us as well too. This is what people don't understand. It's affected everyone who fucking supported America.
Yep.
George W. Bush going over there, mate. Everyone fucking followed him, and that's
We
what's
followed
fucking
him.
happened.
All right, man, we're gonna follow your lead.
Yeah.
Vietnam, look at us, mate.
And everybody, the current politicians are making a big deal. It's like, well, Trump said we were pulling out in May. Biden didn't pull out until August. So it would have been worse under the Trump administration.
Yeah, but he did it overnight and didn't tell anyone. And all of a sudden, you have all these other countries like Australia is just sitting there with their thumbs in their butts.
I mean, I would like to believe, I'm not going to say I think, I'd like to believe that if Trump was still president and we were pulling out, that he would have brought out all the civilians that we promised to pull out first before he pulled the military out and closed down the big air base, not anywhere near Kabul, the capital. The problem with leaving Bagram Air Base in the middle of the night was that Kabul is a very hard airport to defend against anybody.
What the fuck does that mean, dude? Most airports aren't designed for fucking defense, dude. Like
Bagram Air Base was a military base.
Okay, yeah. I know what you mean, but like any other air base that's not a military air base, isn't defended.
No. But if we wouldn't have left the air base behind in the middle of the night with the prison next to it that we just abandoned in the process, things would have went a lot smoother on the withdrawal.
I think what they needed to do, I think Biden, he's dropped the ball on everything. The first thing you do if you go on a long trip, what do? You're going to go, we've got a road in Australia called the Nullarbor. It's the biggest fucking road just about in the world. Well, it's just fucking straight, goes from east coast to west.
East to west?
Yep. And mate, there's not that many service stations along the way, petrol stations, gas stations.
That's a giant piece of land.
What's the first thing you do if you're going on a fucking big trip like that?
Fill up with gas.
Take your fuel, you take extra water, you take everything, don't you? You prepare for it.
Oh, be careful about filling up with extra fuel and extra water. You might get drone striked by Joe Biden.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
he was a terrorist.
There was no preparation. Fucking people should have been taken out first. Everyone who fucking supported, everyone who supported you guys should have been fucking taken out first. Your weapons should have been taken out. There should have been nothing left behind. And if anything was left behind, it should have been fucking destroyed.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Take out the big deal weapons.
Yeah.
Don't disable them. And if you're gonna, if you have to leave in a hurry, blow it up.
Yeah.
You tell me you don't have a bomb there that could blow this shit up?
Right.
Get a couple
we
of
have
movies.
way too much technology and weaponry in place for the Taliban, and now the Russians and the Chinese to learn our systems and our technology.
Well, that's the thing is people say, "Oh, what's the Taliban going to do with it?" Well, first of all, they're already hanging people with the helicopters.
Yep. They're going to sell it to.
They're going to sell it to Russia.
Yeah, and to the Chinese.
Here's the new Black Hawk.
They've just picked up 20 years of your fucking technology. 20 years of your technology gone in one day.
Exactly.
I am interested to see what Australia.
20 years of blood, 20 years of fucking American blood and Australian blood and fucking English, French. Every bit of blood that was shed there was gone in one day.
I'm waiting for Australia to declare independence from England.
Oh,
Not gonna
we've
happen.
had 4 votes on it. We've had 4 referendums.
That's the problem is you guys don't seem to have a system that's like solid. No, and I'm not talking trash. Well, I am talking trash. Like you guys can recall your president or your premier or whatever, prime minister, as quick as you want, and like no one ever gets anything done. And there seems to be no who's in charge in terms of a vote. The
Well, that's
way that the votes can go, it can change shit overnight every
we,
time.
we don't call our prime ministers back. Where it comes from is the party itself. Like the party votes a person to lead the party.
Yeah.
And that they then become prime minister. You know what I mean? And it's the internal squabble and the backstabbing and the fucking wheels and deals that create that shit.
Politicians.
Yeah, that's where it all comes from. And the thing that we vote every 3 years.
3 years.
Where you guys get 4 years and 2 terms, I think it is.
4 years per president, per election process. But
Yeah.
yes, a president can serve up to 2 terms.
Can I ask you guys an interesting
They don't
question?
have to be in a row either.
Yeah. I was going to say, how would Trump go, right? For example, okay, if say the Republicans take back the House,
Mhm.
Trump gets voted in as Speaker, right? They pull fucking Section 25 on fucking Sleepy Joe.
No, because that would put Kamala Harris into office.
What happens if right? Now, for example,
And then she
hypothetical,
gets assassinated.
the Republicans take the Senate and the House, right? Right? What happens then? Fucking you guys got control.
The
except for
VP
House.
still takes office if the president isn't capable.
What happens if she gets fucking impeached?
Then the Speaker of the House takes office.
So what happens if Donald Trump's the Speaker of the House?
He would take office at that point, but you're going down a rabbit hole that's almost infeasible. Brian,
What Democrats
no,
tried it?
he's talking about Trump running for Congress,
No,
becoming Speaker of the House.
never gonna happen.
Yeah, and then becoming president through that. That's just too many steps, dude.
But here's the problem with
He has a better
Donald
chance of being
Trump would
reelected.
never lower himself after being president of the United States to a congressman.
He has a better chance of being reelected president.
Who
Yeah.
do you reckon make a better one, Mike Pompeo, Speaker of the House?
He actually has a very serious chance of being reelected this next term.
I mean, the Democrats have nobody really to run in 2024.
Besides Joe
Biden's
Biden.
not going to run.
You don't think so?
Kamala Harris is next in the VP is more hated.
She's terrifying.
And then Biden is. So.
How's it looking for the 2022 elections?
Oh, I think it's going to be a bloodbath for the Democrats here in America. I think they're going to lose control of both the House and the Senate.
You think so?
Yes.
That's going to put a very, very interesting fucking spin on your politics. And Sleepy Joe, he's going to.
It'll be a real check and balance then, you know.
Who would
We'll
the
see how
Republicans
the
go?
moderate unifier Biden actually governs at that point.
They'll say that the Congress and the Senate are white supremacists. That's what's going to happen. You know it.
Oh, it doesn't matter if the vote's already cast, mate. If the vote's cast, like fucking let them say what they want to say.
Well, they keep talking about our democracy. You're ruining our democracy. They don't know what democracy means. Democracy is literal mob rule, right?
Majority, yep.
51% wins, mob rule. But
So
they
what
don't
are your
understand it.
predictions for the 2022 elections?
Huh?
What's your predictions for 2022?
What's happening in 2022? The midterm?
Yes.
I think a couple states are going to get a little more right. I think several states are going to get further left. I think states like Massachusetts are going to do fucking nothing
Right.
because they make too much fucking money
So who has control?
and they don't understand what it
of
is to break your bones
Congress?
to work.
Is the Senate going Republican, or is the House of Representatives going Republican, or is nobody going Republican?
The House will go Republican, but by only 2 votes.
What about Senate?
Check this out. You're going to have a libertarian swing vote too.
Oh boy.
I'm calling it right now.
I'm gonna have a beer on it with you, not a Foster's beer, or a proper beer with you.
I missed all of that. I'm sorry. I'm
He said
trying
he's not
to
going to
keep
have
up.
a Foster's beer with you. He's going to have a regular beer
Till
with
he's-
you.
Till he's new. Till he's new.
Foster's, man. Hey, even I'll
No,
admit
I think
Foster's is garbage.
before you make this bet, right? Before you make this prediction, I'll have a beer on it with you. Until he's new.
Hey,
A little beer.
there you go, man.
Right, we've got a beer on it. Brian, you witnessing
Alright.
this? All right, let's hear your prediction, brother. Libertarian. Let's hear it. What is it?
There's gonna be a libertarian
Okay.
who shows up in the Congress,
Uh-huh.
and he's gonna be the swing vote, and it's gonna be not New England. However, it should be Vermont. It's gonna end up being like Kentucky or somewhere around there where like Rand Paul is from.
Okay.
Ooh,
Uh,
okay.
I'm even telling you where he's gonna be.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania area. How's that?
And what about
Ooh.
the Senate?
Senate's gonna stay the way it is. It might get a little more Democrat. No, that's not true. They're gonna lose a Democrat, but only one. They're gonna get one extra Republican.
So it'll be back to Republican control.
And let's be fair, I've been pretty good about my predictions when I say this is gonna happen, haven't I?
Yeah.
Can I do a Nostradamus in your future and give you a prediction from the future?
Nostradamus was so vague.
Ronnie Damus. I'll give you a Ronnie
yeah.
Damus.
Yeah, but he was so vague that anything could have been interpreted as what he said.
Well,
I'm telling you, on this date, this area is gonna do this. You know,
I'll give you a third quadrant. I'm with Brian. It's going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be Republican all the way.
I don't think so. I think I will say maybe you're right. Typically speaking, your average Republican voter now doesn't admit they vote Republican.
No.
They're terrified.
They just vote.
And then they just I want to stay out of politics.
I think another thing you got to realize is that Joe Biden got a lot of his support from the independent voters. And his polling numbers with independent voters is in the tank right now. They are not voting Joe Biden right now. I know Joe Biden will not be in an election in 2 years, but if he doesn't do something to make them happy, they're going to vote Republican in the end.
Did Joe Biden get my vote from Australia? The one that I sent by mail?
Yeah, we actually got that, and that was the one that made him win.
No, mate, one got him over the post.
Yeah, your mail-in ballot from Australia. By the way, that's
I sent it from Victoria. I sent it from Victoria, the Mexican state too.
I meant to go to town center and sign a petition tonight about a whole bunch of stuff, and I forgot to completely.
Because you were drinking.
Blame it on the Aussie, mate. Blame it
No,
on
it's
the
even
Aussie.
worse. The wife reminded me that to do it, and I forgot anyway. No, they're talking about there's stuff coming up that's coming up on the vote, and like I was supposed to sign a petition today about making sure you had to have ID to vote, and a couple other things.
Yeah.
And I believe you should have to have ID to vote.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We do. You know
You're
how we
gonna have
do
an
in
ID to
Australia.
fly. Why not have an ID to vote?
Well, I'll actually.
You know how we do it in Australia.
If I may, her argument was actually pretty good.
Oh boy.
No, it was. It was the 14th Amendment that any undue burden to vote is unacceptable and it's an infringement upon your right. And I was like, I understand that, but an identification is not an undue burden because you need an ID to have a bank account, to have a job, to do anything, right? So it's not an undue burden to have ID.
Do you know in Australia it's compulsory to vote? We have to vote.
Yes, and that's disgusting.
Yep.
No, it absolutely is, because that means you have a shit ton of people voting that have no idea what they're voting for.
Yep.
That's exactly right.
That's why you guys recall your fucking prime minister every fucking year and a half.
Depends which party you vote for, I suppose. But no, in the
But you're
last
forcing people to vote. They don't know what's going on. Don't make them vote.
11 years, we've had 6 or 7 prime ministers.
That's
In
what I'm
11 years.
talking about. This is what I brought up. Okay, I said 4 years. So maybe I should have said 10 years. But yeah, you guys, you changed them out too quickly. Since I've been speaking to you, you and I have been buddies on Facebook for almost 10 years now, right?
Easy, brother. Easy, yeah.
I've watched you guys have like 6 prime ministers. I'm like, this is out of control. It's like, no wonder why nothing ever changes in Australia. Nothing has time to happen. You rip the
That's why
guy
I'm
out
not
and say,
voting
F
Labor
you.
That's why I'm not voting Labor anymore, mate. I've just completely gone. I've wiped them. So I'm going to this other party. But the thing is, like, I find that's like us. Like, I'll tell you really funny one thing really quickly. You know, I said it's compulsory to vote. If we don't vote, we get sprung with a $50 fine. If we don't pay
So,
that fine,
Are you allowed to vote no vote?
yeah, you can write whatever you want on the ballot.
No,
Once
you
you
can
get,
actually vote. Like, I don't want to vote. You can just
Just
show up
gotta
and
show
say
up and
vote
vote.
present.
it's called a donkey vote. But what happens if you put a donkey vote in?
Donkey vote's a Democrat here, right?
What we call donkey, donkey and the elephants. But in Australia, a donkey vote is when you could fill it out. You could draw pictures, dick pics on it, is whatever you want. But the thing is, if you put it in the box and they count it, those donkey votes go towards the government at the time. So if we've got a Liberal government at the time,
You should
those
vote for
donkey votes
these
go to
nuts.
yeah.
I see what he's saying, though.
No,
I mean,
Please.
basically, if you like,
but
When
you're
it
encouraging
comes
people to
to
vote that don't know
voting-
what's going on. You're forcing people that don't know what's going on to vote, and I think it's very dangerous.
yeah,
So what Brian was starting to say, mate. You're pretty much on the ball there, Brian.
yeah.
But
And basically, what I understand is that, if you write, draw dick pics on your vote and stuff like that, you're basically supporting the incumbent party that's already in office.
exactly, those votes go to
So
them.
it's not like a protest vote. You're encouraging the party that's already in office to stay in office.
Kind of like when
And
I
all they-
vote Mickey Mouse, I'm not changing anything, even though I'm saying fuck the system.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything.
Or Chuck
Australia-
Norris.
Oh, Chuck Norris.
Oh, remember when Yang
Who
or
thinks that?
Wang or whatever his name was, the libertarian ran for president against Trump,
Yeah.
and Tina, I'm not kidding you, she was this close to peeing her pants. She fell over laughing when she saw these nuts had more votes
The Yang.
than the libertarian candidate. She saw it, she's like, these nuts is beating them. These nuts. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
That is that's the balls of the United States still saying fuck you. Yeah, I'd rather have these nuts and shots,
we had a local politician out in Australia. His name was, get this, Richard Face.
What?
Richard Face.
Dick face?
Yeah.
That's pretty
His name
good.
was Richard Face. He was a local politician.
Did he win?
Oh, yeah, he was. He was in Parliament for a while. But I would have shot my parents if they named me Dick Face. My mum was going to call me Leo once, but I'm glad she changed her mind.
Who was the crack smoking mayor in Canada?
Oh, he's still in Parliament.
Justin
He's still in
Trudeau.
Parliament.
Huh?
Justin Trudeau.
No,
Well,
he's
he's
the
mayor.
premier.
He's a mayor or something.
Yeah, there was a Quebecan
What,
governor.
Grey-
Yeah,
Grey-
whatever. Ford, I think was his name. And he's like, yeah, I smoked crack. So what? I was like, oh my God, he's fucking Hunter Biden.
He looks like that guy Fiati, that chef. You're one of your chefs that diners, drive-ins, or whatever. The guy out of that. Is that one you're talking about?
I missed half what you said, dude.
What's
I'm
the
doing
guy
my
that you're
damnedest.
talking
You understand my accent better than I understand yours. How's that?
about? I'm talking about the guy who you're talking about, the mayor or whoever he was in Canada. You look like that guy from diners, drive-ins, and
Oh, he's a Guy Ferrari.
that's the one. Yeah, he looked a
Diners,
bit like-
drive-ins,
Boom!
and dives.
yeah, guys, that's the one. That's what
Yeah.
the guy looked like. Yeah,
That was a while ago too, wasn't it? Like,
It's
but it's
still-
like, yeah, I
it's still
smoked
on
crack.
the
So
air.
what? It's like, dude, you smoke crack.
And he admitted it too, hey? He admitted it.
You sure that wasn't Justin Trudeau?
No, something Ford, I think.
Okay.
Have you guys heard of Pat King at the moment?
No.
He's doing what Avi Yemeni and Real Rushkin's doing in Australia, but he's doing it in Canada. You'll have to check him out. He actually he was on what's his name show not long ago. I'm trying to think of his name. No.
That fart really stinks.
I can smell it all the way over here.
I thought you didn't want me to talk about something.
You guys saw the flailing? It wouldn't go away.
You've got a couple of blowflies there, bro.
I hit mute, so you guys wouldn't hear me go, oh my God.
Thank God for Zoom. Back in the day, this show used to be me and Jeffrey together, and that would have fucking drove us out of the room.
You look like
you must have had some dairy today.
You look like
he loves cheese, but cheese don't love him.
That's very true.
Look like you walked through a fucking spider and showed me your martial arts skills.
I'm glad the show went the way it did so far, but I had an entire fucking 2-page document to do this.
I know, and I sent you a text about that on Facebook Messenger.
I'll check it later.
That's what happens when you're invited an Aussie mate, drinking beer with him. It's always going to change, brother. It's never going to be the same.
Yeah, exactly. At least
I have no issue with us not touching any more documents on the document as long as the show just rolls like it rolls.
Well, hey, if we run out of shit to talk about, there's still stuff in the document to refer to.
Oh yeah.
Dear God. No. Hey, here we go. Let's jump on that for a minute.
All right.
A lot of shit came out about COVID lately.
COVID, what's that?
Yeah. Well, hold on.
It's like the flu when you're not having a flu.
Well, who's the company that said that this was in fact made in a laboratory?
Pfizer?
It was definitely made in a laboratory, and they released it intentionally into caverns with bats, thinking they were going to spread a vaccine.
Bill Gates. Hey, talk about Bill Gates. Did you see the funniest thing I've seen?
Oh, Bill Gates, dude. Bill Gates scares me.
He's with Jeffrey Epstein. Did you see that interview?
Yes, I did. And it's even funny is I've been telling people in the last week or so, I was like, Epstein didn't kill himself.
He didn't. There's no way Epstein killed himself. Let's be realistic here. He was suicided.
Yeah. The Clintons didn't like him anymore.
Well, the Clintons have been known to kill a couple people here and there, so.
And I'm just going to put this out there. In
I'm going to get a Facebook strike over this. Watch.
8 weeks' time, Dr. Fauci didn't kill himself. It wasn't suicide.
Dr. Fauci's not dead yet.
Yeah, no, that's actually
8 weeks' time. 8 weeks' time.
Okay, good.
I said this recently, actually. I don't remember what it was. It was like, this person didn't kill themselves. I'm getting out. I'm getting out ahead of this curve.
I wish Dr. Fauci would kill himself.
No, you don't.
I don't, but I do, you know.
But remember, Fauci was the guy that told you you could get HIV from using the toilet after someone HIV positive.
Damn.
You know what I love?
I haven't gotten it yet, but I've been using the toilet every day for the last 30 years. So I guarantee that somebody before me that I used it had HIV along those years.
Yeah, I don't know. I reckon the funniest things I see was Rand Paul taking on Dr. Fauci.
He's a shit. Yeah, Rand Paul doesn't play around with Dr. Fauci.
I like Rand Paul. He's actually what makes me consider running for Congress.
Jimmy Jordan.
Run for Congress.
Why couldn't I? Why couldn't I represent the South Shore of Massachusetts?
You got too many skeletons in your closet.
No, skeleton means I'm fucking hiding that shit.
Yeah, they'll come out in your congressional run.
Well, the issue is this show will show up.
Yeah. Shonda Haddix might show up.
I think I could be a Massachusetts congressman for the 13th district.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's get back to what you talk about. Rand Paul.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, I love
and his daddy Ron.
Yep. I just love the session he give Fauci, mate. Jimmy Jordan. He's one of my greatest American politicians. Jim Jordan.
Yeah. What is he? North Carolina?
I don't know.
No,
but he does
Ohio. Ohio.
raise the bullshit flag a lot with things going on.
Yeah, see, that's actually what I want to do is beg, hey, that's not fucking cool. You're not allowed to do that. Hey, that's against the rules, you know? Yeah. Basically, I want to show up and support the people that have blue collars, the people that literally break their bones at work, and they go to work and they get stitches and then go back to work the same day because they have to finish the workday to get paid, you know? That's the guy I want to support and not support. I want to represent that guy. And I don't think that guy gets any representation anymore in the United States government. It's all fucking doctors and lawyers, except for AOC. She's a fucking bartender. What's the worst is she has a fucking economics degree from UMass Dartmouth, but she's a fucking socialist.
We said Tuna Forte's taken her on too. She's taken on the 2022 elections.
If she wasn't so fucking cute, she wouldn't be in office.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta admit she's a pretty girl.
For a politician, she's got nice tits.
Okay, I wasn't gonna go there.
No,
but yeah, that dress she wore, the eat tax the rich, she looked fucking amazing in that dress. But she makes $164,000 a year. Is she not the rich?
Better than tips.
Yeah, 164 American dollars a year. How's that?
That's why you guys are the greatest country in the world.
No, the American dollar is worthless, dude. Anything you have saved in cash, turn into hard assets. The US dollar is going to collapse, and that's going to collapse the entire world's economy. Get your money into hard assets. Buy property, buy gold, buy fucking guns, whatever you need to do.
Well, you look at it right now. You look at what China are doing, mate. China, do you guys know what's going on with the Beltway, the China Beltway they've got going?
Yep.
They're lending money all of these fucking up and coming nations, lending fucking billions and billions of dollars. These countries got no way of paying them back. So China's come through taking their fucking ports out, taking their airfields and all that. Just say, right, we'll take that, we'll take that, we'll take that. Papua New Guinea above us. Papua New Guinea's what in Indonesia, one sort of island.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Mate, they just about own Papua New Guinea. And Papua New Guinea's all mining and gas.
Papua New Guinea is an archipelago, isn't it?
No, it's
a series of islands, I thought.
No. Papua New Guinea's up above, but
what's one island?
Yeah.
So I thought it was like 4 or 5.
The Indonesian side is all different islands and that, but the Papua New Guinea side's pretty solid.
But this is all part of the Belt and the Road initiative with China.
Yeah, and that's what they're doing, mate. They're starting to come to Pacific.
Part of the No Agenda show that M. Curry talks about.
Exactly. And now what the US and Australia and England are now saying, fuck you guys, to what the Chinese are doing and waking up. The Chinese are well advanced in it. They've lent out all this money, all these fucking developing nations, especially in the Pacific regions. So they're setting up fucking bases close to fucking you guys. You don't realize how close they're getting. They're fucking getting closer and closer.
Now, it's funny is, I'm sorry. For a while, people would talk about like white privilege and all these other privileges in the United States. And I brought up the point of saying we have ocean privilege too. We have the Pacific and the Atlantic Ocean to protect us for the most part, right? Yep. But I look at Australia. You cannot invade Australia without it being very obvious.
So you're doing it
a long way away. Like even try to invade the United States to be obvious, because you would see people like dumping off soldiers in like Canada or Mexico
Yeah, and that's
Or
why we've
dumping
been
them
so
into the East
isolated
Coast
from
or
the
the West
world
Coast.
wars, is because, other than the attack on Pearl Harbor, we've never been attacked in the
But
United
with modern
States.
technology, Australia can see any attack coming from seriously 1,000 miles away, right?
Yeah,
Well, that's why you guys need us so much. Like you got Pine Gap, you got 2,500 Marines at Pine Gap in the Northern Territory. That's right up the fucking top end of the country, mate. And that's where we're right on the doorstep of Southeast Asia. Like we've got fucking Thailand, Philippines, fucking all that sort of right above us. And above that, you got Japan, then you got China. So we're not that far away from China.
No,
Yeah.
you're not that far away.
No,
Well,
no.
we say not that far away, but that's as far as Texas is from Canada.
We're a 9-hour flight from Hong Kong. You know what I mean? And Hong Kong's fucking is China.
Yeah. Well,
That's how far away we are, mate. So you think a 9-hour flight by fucking naval. And the thing is, when people they want to attack Australia, we're so desolate. We're so fucking desolate. So if they hit the wrong fucking area, mate, they've got a long way to go before they can fucking get anywhere near it.
right.
Here's a question. When the United States did not step in to help the Ukraine
Yep.
during the you remember what Crimean Sea thing?
Yep.
When the
When
US
fucking-
did not step in and help, what did you think? Because it pissed me off because we convinced the Ukraine to give up their nuclear weapons after the Soviet Union because the United States would protect them. And then we let Russia walk right in and say, this is ours.
But still's done behind the fucking sea, mate. What did Russia give up to let you guys walk into fucking Ukraine? Russia
We
must have
didn't
given
walk
something
into
up.
Ukraine. We just said, give up your nuclear weapons and we'll protect you.
No, I said for Russia to walk into Ukraine.
Oh,
Russia must have give up something in return.
because they showed up with weapons after the United States said, we'll protect you. And then we didn't.
It's
The
like
Russians
you say,
literally
like,
just walked across the border with their fucking rifles.
it's like you satellite weapons that you got in Turkey and that. Fucking Russia was shitting themselves years in that. That's why they tried to fucking hit you guys in Cuba. You know what I mean?
Oh, Cuba was a long time ago.
But no, what I'm saying is that's how you're working. What the point I'm trying to make is you left. I'm going to say it really straight down the line. I won't go into like different fucking scenarios. To be a world power, you have to have allies. You have to have strong allies, right?
Yep.
And when strong allies see that you guys are fucking leaving other people behind, we start thinking, fucking, what the fuck? You know?
Exactly what just happened in Afghanistan is we left all these people behind, and we didn't just leave behind Australians. We didn't just leave behind Englishmen. We left behind Americans. If we're willing to leave behind our own people, then fuck you too, right?
Yep.
Exactly.
So who's gonna sign a deal with us? Just like exactly what I was saying. Thank you for bringing up that argument. Was we told Ukraine we were gonna protect them if they gave up their nuclear weapons, and we didn't. Who's going to trust the United States to do anything anymore?
Nobody.
Exactly.
Who's going to trust the dollar anymore?
Nobody.
Well, exactly. And that's where China's come out. China's pumping all this fucking money out, mate. They're trying to take you guys over. And you're right, you're saying the American dollar's on the verge of dropping, mate. It's on the verge of fucking dying.
It shouldn't be in charge. And I'm actually pissed off that it's still not backed by gold. But that's fucking Nixon's fault.
Yeah, mate.
There was $1 worth of gold for every US dollar that was printed in the 70s. No one knows where any of this gold is, and we abolished it anyway. There used to be an actual amount of gold attached to every dollar. So that you knew there was value to the dollar, you know?
Wasn't the Iranians that told the Rothschilds to go fuck themselves and they fucking prospered there for a while?
The Rothschilds, you know what? You talk all the trash you want, but these people were successful and good for them, you know?
Oh, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
Just like Rockefeller. Everyone hates the Rockefellers for being billionaires. Rockefeller was the first billionaire. You know what? He invented gasoline. You know?
Look, we're not against people, mate, inventing stuff. Like Australians have got some great inventions too, and the world has. Mate, people around the world have got great
Wi-Fi. An Australian man invented Wi-Fi.
The black box.
I don't know what that
The
is.
lawnmower, the black box in airplanes.
Oh,
invention.
that was Australian? The indestructible box that would record everything?
It's actually orange, but it's not black. They call it black,
Yeah.
but it's actually orange.
Yeah. Well, oh, okay. That's cool tech, but like Wi-Fi.
Vegemite
Everyone has
have
Wi-Fi, and that's Australian.
Labour, and the Kiwis are trying to claim that.
Let's be fair though, Tesla pretty much came up with the technology for Wi-Fi. Just someone had to sit down and figure out how to make it adjustable to data, not just electricity. Tesla was a fucking genius, and he was completely ignored because he was some weird Russian immigrant. Let's be honest, the United States has not always been good to immigrants, right?
Oh, mate, look, the whole world's in the same boat. People throughout the world, mate. The world's made up of bloody bigots.
Well, the world is made up of one culture dominates another one and takes their territory and resources throughout the entire history of the world.
Well, look how many disagreements you and I have. Wouldn't it be a boring place if we all agreed? It's fucking boring.
It would be very boring. That's why I want to get some more of your Australian friends to not only listen to the show, but come on the show. Like, I don't want to say his last name because I don't want to blow someone up, but David, you know what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
yeah, Dave. Yeah. He's a
With
good
the
guy.
leg issue.
Yeah.
I'd love to have him on the show. I'd love to hear what he has to say.
Yeah, my nephew. I call him my nephew.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good guy. And the thing is, like, that's one thing I loved about your show. You guys, you talk about things and you don't leave it so like confined just to the one thing. You fucking expand on it, and
Well, we get drunk and talk.
I know, and that's the best way to do it. That's just pub rules, isn't it?
Pub rules. I like the way you put that. Pub rules.
Pub rules, buddy.
I like
So I
that.
called you buddy instead of cobber. I try to relate then so you can understand.
Instead of what?
I said I called you buddy instead of cobber. Cobber is a mate.
I didn't realize you guys didn't use buddy down there.
Nah, mate.
Mate seems weird to me.
Why?
I could call you bloke.
Bloke. Where's my big knife?
You didn't put it up.
That's not a knife, mate. That's a fucking knife.
Actually, the Canadians call everyone buddy or pal.
Yeah. Oh, they said oot. Fucking let's go oot.
You say gook?
No, I said let's go oot.
Oh,
Canadians.
I thought you said gook. I was like, that's actually a racial slur here.
No, I said oot.
Gook's right there, slanty, right?
Nah, mate. Wait, what? Australia, we over the years, I don't know what it was like in America, but with our Immigration Act, we saw in the 50s and 60s, we had a lot of Italians and Mediterranean people come to Australia, and they fucking
smell
work hard.
funny.
Yeah, but they can fucking cook good. Like,
Oh my God. Yes, they can. Oh, the Greeks, especially lamb.
when I was 12, I got to tell you stuff. When I was 12, I went to my mate's place. His name's Pino, and his mum, they're Italian, obviously. I've never seen before. First time I seen like big veggies in the backyard, and in their storeroom, like they had everything stored up. Like the old man, he worked at BHP at the steel mills. He'd have cartons of beer stacked up. They'd have olive oil by the gallons, like stored up, and they had all this stuff stored up. His mother always had something cooking. So I go around there and she sit me down on a chair, like, come on, you come in. She take off my shoes. Hey, she take them off. Says, you'll sit down, I'll bring you something. You look very hungry. I said, I'm fucking starved. She bring me out all this pasta and she said, you still look hungry. So she bring me out another meal, I was only 12, 13. And she said, you look a little thirsty. So she bring me a wine. She bring me a Scott.
Yeah.
I'm only 13, 12, 13. Yeah, you drink. You have a good time.
It's funny. I was in Sicily. I never hit mainland Italy, but Sicily, their wine was so fucking amazing.
Oh,
Oh my God. I remember sitting down and ordering my food. And it's like, hey, I said, I want a glass of wine with my meal, but I don't know what I want. Yeah, I was like, I'm going to be fair. I'm going to be honest. Maybe you can help me have a better meal experience, And the waiter goes, okay, well, I'll tell you what, you want this kind of wine. And I knew I wanted a red wine with a red pasta, a red sauce pasta. But he goes, all right, the grapes that were picked to make this wine, if you look over there, the white flag with the blue cross on it, the grapes were picked within 20 feet of that flag. I was like, oh, that's fucking awesome.
Bring it on. Right, boys. You guys have both been in the services and that. Where's the best place you've ever eaten around the world? What's the best food you've ever tried?
Best food? That's a tough question because,
well, right, yeah.
Well, typically when I traveled, I got like the one they're famous for. Like when I went to Scotland, I tried haggis.
Yep, same here.
I tried it 3 times because I thought there's no way it's this bad twice. And the 3rd time I was like, yep, it's this bad. But I gotta say that Spain had some really good food. England was very fishy. Everything that was good was fish.
Yep.
I wasn't impressed with Australia. I would say Florida. Alligator tail was really good. You can get alligator tail like everywhere in Florida, United States. By the way, Florida is the only place on the planet that crocodiles and alligators coexist.
Yeah, but those pissy little crocodiles, they're not big ones.
Huh?
They're only pissy little crocs.
Brian, don't you dare pass out. Pay more attention and get involved.
What about you, Brian? Where's the best place you've eaten in the world, mate?
I don't know.
Yeah, really?
What?
Spanish food is good.
Yeah.
Brazilian food is good.
Never eaten Brazil.
Most European food is like animals that you don't want to typically eat, like goat. Like the good meals in England and Scotland were like goat or sheep intestine. You know what I mean?
Food was good in Philippines. Food was good in Singapore. Food was good in Hong Kong.
There's always good food to find.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I always made it a point to find the good food.
Especially when there was a McDonald's.
Dude, I didn't get McDonald's. There was always a McDonald's. There's always a fucking Domino's or a Pizza Hut.
Well, the last thing I liked about McDonald's overseas was you get beer there. So
yeah.
Some really good places like, isn't there? But the thing is, so the food like McDonald's, they've got different varieties of food throughout the world.
Yeah.
It's not just your Big Mac or your big quarter pounders or anything like that. You've got different sort of fucking.
Yeah, I mean, they have that, and then they always have like a local variety on top of that, so. Yeah.
I was actually just bringing up tonight how I miss living in the city a little bit because I can't get like a pizza at 2 a.m.
You got Pipsi's.
Poopsies closes at 11. Actually, I had Poopsies today. It's a bar pizza. Actually, that's a pizza you can only get in this part of the, not just this part of the world, but this part of the country.
Come on, describe it to me, mate. Give me a description. Give me a visual. What am I missing?
They call it bar pizza. It's made in an aluminum pan that's a 12-inch diameter, and it's basically a flat pizza that's super oily and disgusting.
Is it a square or a round pan?
Yeah, Brian, you've had it before, right?
I don't know.
Really? When you didn't have it?
Square or round pan?
But is this a 1 a.m. pizza?
It's a pizza. It's a style of pizza that's only made in the South Shore of Massachusetts, which is even fucking crazier because Massachusetts is a fucking small state in terms of states.
Yeah.
And the South Shore is a specific spot in that state. And they're the only people in the world that make this style of pizza. But there's something about it that's so good. But the wife can't eat it. It disgusts her.
Well, mate, how many times you ring up then for it?
You can only eat it with dairy.
I grew up eating it, you know.
No dairy with it too, eh?
But yeah, it's made in an aluminum pan. And it's very thin crust. Oh, it's so good. You actually need special dough to do it.
That's so next time I'm in the States, I'm gonna have to try, mate.
Hey, next time you're in the States, come to the South Shore of Massachusetts, or at least hit Boston. I am a 20-minute train ride away from Boston. And when I say train ride, I mean the MBTA, the T. The entire how to get around Boston has been put underground. Brian, you saw this, right?
Yeah,
The expressway is underground.
big day.
But yeah,
Yes.
and it costs an extra like $3 trillion. Okay, oops. But it's been done. But the train is underground too, this subway system. And I can get to Boston in 20 minutes for like $4.
Fuck, that's good value, mate. That's good value. One of the best ones I was on the tube, the London Tube. That was phenomenal.
That's a different system altogether. That's very fast.
Oh,
The
mate, it was phenomenal.
T has stops very often, but it allows you to get off one train, step on another, and go a different direction. So you can get anywhere basically anywhere on the eastern shore of Massachusetts near Boston. You can get around for like 25 cents.
That's
Because
cheap
once you're
value,
on the
mate.
train, you don't have to pay anything. You can change trains as often as you want for free.
No, that's a good. See, that's the thing in Australia. Like Australia is very expensive when it comes to stuff like that. We pay a few extra dollars on what like our transport, our public transport and that. But when in terms of wages and that, like we get higher wages, but our dollar, I think we're about 70 something cents US for our dollar ratio and that.
Okay.
So probably about 70, 72 at the moment, I think it is.
I know it's
We haven't really heard much about it ever since the COVID shit came in. They
mm,
really dropped that shit off, you know. So
might be time to buy it might be time for me to buy not Canadian, Australian currency. I think
yeah, mate.
I think it's about to come back up. I might make some
Wasn't
money.
that long ago? Wasn't that long ago, mate? We were above you guys.
I know, actually, that's why I said that, because for a while you guys were your dollars was worth more than ours.
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to look how I could sort of send some money over to America to get it done without getting caught by the IRS or my taxation department. But I shouldn't say that because it's going to be podcast, isn't it?
Well, I've been making an effort to buy as much
I shouldn't say
pot.
that right now.
I've been making an effort to buy as much pot stock as possible.
Well, I wonder if I can invest in that legally, being Australian.
But you can buy a company, can't you? Even if you're not whatever, like
With the American laws, but I'd have to employ so many Americans.
can you get Robinhood on your phone?
Well, I might have to have a look. I'll have a look at that.
It's a stock
got Gmail, yeah.
exchange. It's a stock exchange thing you can do on your phone. They only cover so much stuff, but you can buy a lot of pot stocks on it. And I've been diversifying in different things, not in terms of pot, but not just the guys, people growing it, but the guys distilling it to make oils, and the guys that are like putting it into honey and yada yada yada. I'm actually spreading my dollars out to make sure that as marijuana grows, I'm going to make money. Marijuana is only going to get bigger in the United States. It's not going away. It's going to become legal nationwide.
What I know it's different states and all that. What would the average American house be like for a 3-bedroom house?
It really does depend on where you live.
Yeah,
right now, where I
location.
live, you're talking about a 3-bedroom house where I live, you're talking over $500,000.
True.
But you move down to where Brian is, it might be 180,000.
Okay.
And that's only an 800-mile difference. And that's only halfway down the coastline of the East Coast.
Hmm. With our Sydney prices, Sydney, you're looking anywhere from 800,000 upwards. That's Sydney. and that's just a little 2-bedroom, mate. It's ridiculous. Our prices around here, we're looking about 400-something thousand,
Hey.
$500,000. You know, it's
Money's
just
not
fucking-
worth anything anymore, man.
It's not. It's bricks and mortar, mate. Bricks and mortar
Well,
and fucking pot farms.
This is actually I know it sounds scary, like you should save your money because of it, but this is actually what's telling you to put your money somewhere else because your dollar is going to disappear. You need to buy something. And then
Yes.
that's where your money is. Buy a gold bar, buy stock, buy something.
Oh, there's a recession coming. You can
Holding
smell it.
on to the dollar just mean you're going to lose it.
Nah, that's it.
Yes.
You can smell. You can smell the recession's coming on.
Coming on, the dollar's already worthless. There's the sheer fact the United States is still printing dollars to say, don't worry, you don't need to go back to work yet. That's keeping the
But-
world from saying, fuck the United States dollar.
But this is the interesting thing, and you've got to look outside of America. Australia's been in lockdown. We've had so many countries, so many people lose their businesses. Small business have lost a lot. People lost houses. The rest of the world in the same thing, lockdown. Where's all this fucking money coming from to pay people to stay at home? Where's it all coming
You want to
from?
know where it's coming from? My great grandchildren. I'm not exaggerating. That's where it's coming from. I am borrowing from my daughter's grandchildren. That's where this money is coming from. That's Brian. Am I not right?
Yeah, you're right.
We're borrowing money against my great grandchildren, which terrifies me. That's why that's why I have silver. That's why I'm buying pot stocks and Bitcoin and all this other shit. Ammo. Because I don't trust
It's what-
any of this shit.
It's worth buying shares in the Boston Red Sox.
Well, silver's great, but it's only worth what someone will give you for it. You know what I mean? Just like a dollar, it's
Same.
only worth what someone will give you for it.
So it's worth buying shares in the Boston Red Sox yet, mate?
Red Sox. Fuck the Red Sox. I gave up on sports almost 10 years ago. You see all this shit then? I guess that's what you're seeing.
Yeah, mate, yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Red Sox stuff. When they won the World Series after 86 years. Yeah, I gave up on sports, dude. I don't believe in any of this shit anymore. They just want
Next
to take my
Saturday-
money.
Next Saturday, boys, you're going to try and get a link to our grand final, our rugby league grand final.
What's that?
Our rugby league grand final, our code of football.
Okay.
Al Qaeda football?
Our code of football. You've got American
Rugby football.
Football,
Rugby league, mate.
by football, you mean soccer.
No,
No,
rugby.
rugby league.
Okay.
Rugby league. Next Saturday night, boys, you have to tune in. I'll try and
rugby-
send you a link.
Hey,
All right, sounds good.
I've watched some rugby. I enjoy the game. I gotta admit the rules are a little weird. But to be fair, the rules for American football are pretty weird.
Well, there's no comparison between the two.
No, they're very similar games, to be fair.
There ain't no pads in rugby.
Yeah, but they're playing a
helmets,
different
no
game.
helmets.
They're not lining up a yard away and smashing each other either.
Oh, mate, no, we're on to each other. Trust me. We play for 40 minutes, 2 hours for 40 minutes
Yeah,
non-stop.
I would say it's a very different game. And don't get me wrong, I'm not talking trash on rugby because actually I love the game, but it's a very different game from American football.
You guys have got a great competition starting in America at the moment too. You've got a rugby league competition going too. It's worth, go check it out.
Mm.
Might like it.
I'm glad to have you on, man. You think you might be able to do this again?
If you guys invite me back, I'd love to.
You're welcome anytime. Just give us a couple days notice.
Oh, no worries. Mate, I finish Sunday mornings at 7 o'clock your time. Be probably
All right,
Saturday
how's
night.
this? Give me more notice than you gave me this time because I had 3 hours of material set up for tonight that we just blew off to do
Well,
this.
Yeah, but there's a reason.
And you
for
could have
blowing
saved
it
me
off,
hours
you know?
of setting this up.
Mate, just look at the positive. Won't next week's show be a doozy?
I just don't want to expect you to be around. Then yeah, if you go, oh, I can't do it. Then I go, oh fuck, I have no show ready. You know.
Brother, I filled the fridge up yesterday. I filled it up your time yesterday.
Exactly. You're so far off the clock, man. The clock is so different.
Oh, look, I can show you outside. The sun's blaring down right now. It's only just gone
It's
12,
the middle of the
12:06.
night here, dude.
No, it's not. It's 10 o'clock.
It's blackness where I am. I'm not kidding you.
12 plus 2, mate. Come on.
Well, Brian,
Don't forget
remember how far north I am from you.
Okay.
I am looking at blackness in the sky.
All right.
Just remember what I told you. Just remember what I told you early in the show, Jeffrey. Tomorrow morning, don't go to the shop early, mate. No matter what the missus says, stay at home.
Hey, I'm a lot further north than you. You're like,
Well, a little bit further south than you, brother.
but like again, I want a lot of numbers. It's tomorrow there.
Australian lottery numbers ain't gonna do you no good.
Put it this way, stay away from the sevens, mate, and 3 could be your lucky one.
You think you can get you think you get someone else to come on here from
Oh,
maybe
definitely.
who disagrees with you?
Oh yeah, mate. Yeah, you'll see me fire up then.
Well, hey, I'm actually looking for someone who disagrees, but I don't want to have people calling each other names.
Oh,
I want it to be an actual
discussion.
discussion.
No, mate, isn't it fun when you can have opposite ideas, take the piss out of each other, and still have a laugh and a beer?
Yeah, that's the whole point. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to get the other point of view, but the people that have the other point of view either don't watch this show or refuse to come on.
Well, next time I'm on, I'll go the opposite of what you say, and Brian can intervene.
Hey, we'll have you on, Brian. I'm pretty sure you're cool with it. Like, you're welcome anytime.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, guys. I really appreciate you inviting me on today. I saw, I've got to be honest with you, I've had probably about 16 cans deep last week,
Nice.
and I was watching the show, and I thought, fuck, I'd like to get on here, just give an Aussie perspective.
Yeah,
mate.
yeah.
So I was probably about
Well-
22 cans deep when I sent you the email.
Oh, is that what? Wait, he's like, hey, I gotta talk to you about this shit. That's why it took you a week to get back to us after it.
Oh, no. By the time I wake up and you guys go to sleep, like fucking.
Yeah.
Well, that was the issue. Is like he's like 12 hours off from me.
Yeah.
Plus 2.
I was like, so I gotta give him time, but
It's 14 hours.
yeah, okay. But exactly, I was like, all right, it's been like 3 days. And I even told Brian, I was like, let's just assume he blew us off.
No, I wouldn't do that to you guys. Plus, I got my 18-year-old nephew lives with me. He's going away this week for 3 weeks. So I've
You
spent a bit of
actually,
uncle
like
time.
listen to our show.
Yeah, I love it, mate. Why do you think I sent a photo of me cracking a beer watching it?
That's fucking hilarious. I love that you sent me a picture of you like holding a beer, getting ready to crack one open to listen to the show. Like that might be my thumbnail.
There you go.
It's a good thing I didn't show
Brian
the whole
uses the
full
same
shot, mate.
thumbnail every time.
Wouldn't have been a
Yeah,
shot you
it's
could have
a
showed your
view.
missus, mate. So it's a good thing I didn't show the whole full shot, mate. You couldn't have shown the missus the whole full shot.
Hey, I am subscribed, but this guy is not as popular as he used to be. He was an Australian YouTuber called Bearing. You ever heard of him?
No, mate, no.
He's pretty funny. He used to do a bunch of really funny stuff, but he's got like a cartoon bear that like it stands there and then it moves. And then it talks and then it moves again. It's pretty funny. And he did a Q&A one day and like, send me a question and I'll answer it. And I asked him like, what was your initial investment? What did it cost? What did it take for you to do this? And he explained to me, and I went out and bought the microphone and the camera. That was the cheapest cost to be able to do this, because I wanted to be able to say, fuck you, you know?
Mate, it's nothing better than doing it on your own show with your own, Aussie.
By the way,
friends.
whatever software you're using is fucking amazing, and hardware. I'm getting no background noise at all from you or Brian. Like we all have really good
Internet
sound quality
connections.
today. Yeah.
Oh, another Aussie infection, mate. Wi-Fi. Fucking beautiful. Go the Aussie.
Aussie infection. The
Well, sometimes when Ray
Wi-Fi.
does the show, I can hear him like fucking chewing. You know what I mean?
Oh, is that the other mate who was on last time? The last
Yeah,
episode.
yeah.
Yeah. Fucking so laid back, hey? I fucking like the big fellas laid back style.
Oh, he's our token.
You're taking laid back guest.
Yeah, our token minority. Right?
Mate, well,
Wait,
it's only 26
was he
million Aussies, so
Honduran?
it must be
El Salvador.
El Salvadorian. I'm sorry. Oh, speaking of buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin. El Salvador has made Bitcoin legal tender.
Yeah, well, the actual people in El Salvador are revolting against the legal tender of Bitcoin.
Oh, true.
Whatever. You know,
They
it
like
sucks to be
Cold
them.
Hard Cash, and the shop owners there had to buy special equipment to do Bitcoin, and they ain't doing it.
No, they don't have to, but that just means they miss out on payments they could get.
Okay.
Right?
Is it true that Elon Musk was making something to go up against Bitcoin? Is that true, or was that just
Musk started some shit against Bitcoin for some stupid reason.
because he can?
Because he can, yeah. But Bitcoin's not going away. This is not financial advice, but buy Bitcoin. It's going to be worth $1 million at Bitcoin. I'm not. I genuinely think this. Right now it's worth like what $30,000 at Bitcoin. You know, you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. You can buy a little tiny piece.
Yeah.
Buy Bitcoin. El Salvador made it legal tender in their country.
Buy Bitcoin and start a revolution, eh?
Bitcoin might overthrow the US dollar.
You know, this is what I love about pubs, beers, and
Through
bullshit.
the people.
This is what I love about pubs, beers, and bullshit, mate. It's part of the Australian culture, and you guys embrace it as well. I love it.
Yeah.
You know how many jobs are created in pubs over beers? Do you know how the economy owes a lot to pubs?
Oh my God. So many jobs. And okay, depending on where you are. If you're in the city with a popular club, no. But you know, your little slum town, your bartender is also your fucking therapist.
Yep.
I don't know how
Unless he's got
Australia does
tits.
it. United States is a lot more
Unless he's got
populated.
tits.
I got this feeling that you guys are all cities and no suburbs.
No. We're suburbs. Australia's very suburban. Very
So
suburban.
you actually have to like shoot animals sometimes?
Only when you're hungry. So it's like fucking. You don't live near McDonald's.
Where I live, I'm not shooting animals, but like in Texas, people carry revolvers to shoot rattlesnake when they're out
They
doing what they're
live near
doing.
McDonald's in Texas.
Why waste your ammo? Just hunt the little fuckers down.
Well, have you seen A Million Ways to Die in the West?
Yeah. But
The
mate,
movie?
you walk outside my door. You walk outside
Yeah,
my
and
door.
a
and be
block of
moving
ice might land on your head. It makes me think of Australia. It's like, but Australia gave up their balls, and you know I'm right on this. You actually talked shit about me a couple years ago, and I said you guys shouldn't have given up your guns.
Yeah,
And
but I
now
was
you
right
go,
about
shit. I wish I had my fucking shotgun.
Well, mate, to be honest with you, you're right. Like fucking, we're in a situation like a whole.
And you wish you had your gun.
Well, do you know the story behind Port Arthur?
Mm.
Port Arthur was the most brutal penal colony in the world. It was the most brutal. The bombs did
You were
so
supposed to
horrific.
die there.
Mate.
They sent you
held
there
in
to
Saltburn.
they expected you to die,
Yeah.
right?
There's a movie out called Van Diemen's Land. It's based on a true story. Watch it. Van Diemen's Land. These guys, you and Brian get a chance to watch it, check it out. I'll show you exactly what Port Arthur was like.
And why is the United States considered the racist country when
Because you've got Democrats saying all the time, you've got Al Sharpton going around. The best thing I seen the other day was Al Sharpton.
RESPICT?
Yeah.
You heard that one?
Yeah, watch you get shit kicked out of you.
Have you checked out the No Agenda show?
No, not yet.
Write it down right now with a pencil and paper. Write down No Agenda show. I think you're going to enjoy it. Adam Curry, he was one of the first MTV VJs.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
It's a quality show. Free show.
Yeah, no, I'll check it out, mate. But the thing, we'll get back to Port Arthur and that when we go up, just like I know we've got a few beers now, mate. I went down, actually, my sister lives down in Tasmania, and I went down and visited, and it's right down like the south end of like Tassie. And when you're down there, it'll blow you away. It's just so serene, and you couldn't believe that so many evil people live down there. And where this Martin Bryan come in and shot people, he come in through like, you know how you got your shops and all that, your souvenir shops and all that, your desks, and where you sign in and they run you through what you got to do.
Yeah, I mean, you're coming in here to see this. We're gonna make sure we make $1 on it, right?
Well, they got signs up, mate. Still respect this. The people are still here.
And don't grab the monkey. You know, it's not acceptable. These are wild animals, etc., right?
And well, it's pretty serene, and like it really hit the nation because a lot of innocent people got killed. And it really, like, Australia at that time, like, fuck, Australia's it's always been a hard place, but we're going through a lot of bullshit at that time. And that's where the politicians really I won't say they took us by surprise because we gave them up ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, we did it.
Yeah.
We did it in a way out of like
you voted for it, and then the people that didn't vote for it handed them over anyway.
We didn't vote for it. The Prime Minister John Howard at the time, he was Liberal Party. He just
voted for the guy who did it. How's that?
Well, he was already in office when he did it. He was already in office.
Well, yeah, but he was elected. What I'm saying is the people voted for the guy who did it, and that's why oh shit. I'm not trying to talk shit about Australian politics because don't get me wrong. No, the United States definitely has not figured it out. I'm not even claiming they have it right. I'm just saying, it seems like your system changes too quickly for anything to happen.
It changes for what suits the narrative at the time.
That means nothing's ever going to happen. Nothing's ever going to change for the good. Because it's always whoever's butt hurts the most, right?
Yep. Those who scream loudest get the most oil, don't they?
Yeah, if your butt hurts that bad, stop bending over and taking up the ass, right?
Yep.
That's the white. Oh, she didn't hear that.
Squeaky.
Sorry, she walks in. I was like, she didn't hear that. And it's like, and as I said, stop bending over and taking it up the ass. That's why your butt hurts so bad.
My butt don't hurt.
The wife goes, my butt doesn't hurt. So I don't give a fuck.
So it's not true the squeaky gate gets the most oil, eh?
Hey man, Ronnie, do you think we do this more often?
I think so, brother.
Yeah, maybe not every week, but once a month, maybe. You think you can do this, or once every other month?
I think so, mate. My missus works on a Sunday, so I'm pretty sweet with that.
No, that's awesome. I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah, this is great.
And it's funny, we didn't hear from you from like 4 days.
Oh no, it builds up the intention.
No, I'm not talking. I'm not talking trash. I'm just saying we didn't know if he was going to be here or not. And I even told Brian, like, let's just assume he blew us off. He's not going to do it. And then he's like, should I send him the link? He's like, oh, today. I was like, I got a message today. Mhm. And I get it. There's a time difference, and plus you have your work schedule. I have my work schedule. Trust me, I get it. But I'd like to have you on like even fucking monthly.
Yeah, definitely.
Here's the
Oh, I think
Australian
what?
point of view. It's like, what the fuck happened? I thought you Americans had giant balls. I thought, where'd your balls go? You know?
Oh, I'll leave that for the second show. I wanted to get invited first, before I start talking like that. So
Hey,
you've
at
opened the gate
least
now, boys.
we told England to fuck themselves. You know?
Oh, we've done that too when they left us here for fucking 200 years. We go, fuck you, cunts.
Yeah, but you still fucking acknowledge their queen. That's what blows my
Look,
mind.
mate,
What blows my mind is like they told you to fuck yourselves, and you guys still acknowledge their queen.
No, it's like you going up telling your grandmother go fuck herself. You don't do it. You wait until she's dead. See what she's left you in the will.
Same thing I said about the Scotland people I spoke to when I got to Scotland. I was like, you guys were at war for 400 years over this shit. And now you decide, fuck me. And you're just going to be English. You know?
Oh, mate, look, I come from Scottish heritage too. I'm Scot in me, but the thing about the Scots, I'll give it to them. They fucked them up.
Yeah, 300 years ago for a little while.
No,
But they're still English or UK.
No, but you don't understand. Robert the Bruce's fucking nephew, son down the line.
Just
become
like
fucking
how
king
is
of Scotland.
Canada UK?
James the First. Well, they are. Well, Canada is part of the Commonwealth. India is part of the Commonwealth.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
funny actually. We were up in Canada when we did a cruise, and there was a bronze bust, and Tina, the wife, walks up next and says, "I want a picture of the Queen." My family looked at her all funny. It's like, the Queen is actually like the Queen. No, they didn't understand like that. Canada had a queen because of their blackface. Oh, there you go. It's Canada that calls it a premier, right?
Yeah,
No,
they're
Prime
still part of the
Minister.
Commonwealth.
Someone calls it a premier, damn it.
I can't.
That's your government. That's
Justin
their
Trudeau has been
The
caught
states
in
is the
blackface
Prime
how many
Minister.
times?
He's the Prime Minister.
Prime Minister's the head number one, and the Premier is the head of the states. Your governors,
Like a governor.
Premier.
All right, wrap it up.
Wrap it up. We haven't even got started.
Oh, we're done.
Has it been that long? Oh my God, it's been that long.
See, now you got a great little show hooked up for next week, brother. You got 3 hours already signed up. You got time off this week to go and get pizza or take the missus out. She's going to love you even more.
Sound like Harry Potter.
She's going to love you even more, brother. Trust me. Hey, it's an old sign in the world, mate. It's universal. Happy wife, happy fucking life. Never forget it.
Yeah, I've heard that one before.
I texted that to Ray earlier tonight when he said he'd rather be on the show than what he was doing right now.
I can't believe I spent all that time making that fucking episode up. That was 2 pages, dude.
I added to it.
I went through and I checked it too, boys.
Oh, so you did have access.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you could see it. I set it up in terms of like what might flow.
Yeah. You got an Aussie one, mate. We just go ad lib.
I was ready to talk. Yeah, well, no. If you should, basically, this was if you didn't show up. If you did, I was expecting to hear about what's happening in Australia.
Yeah, that's what we wanted.
That's
I told you.
Yeah.
I know you did great. Yeah,
I'll send you some videos too. I'll back it up, and what the mainstream media aren't sending you, I'll try and send it to you guys and get it through to you.
okay.
You're more than welcome, mate. If you're on Facebook, Brian, send me a friend request if you like, mate. I can't at the moment. I'm in a 30-day ban again.
Unless you don't get, unless you don't get restricted again because of this.
Yeah, I want another one.
Watch you get banned because of this. But yeah, man.
I'm pretty like, I try to stay anti-political on Facebook because I also use Facebook
for money.
for my business. I run a lot of Facebook ads for marketing and stuff
nice.
like that. So,
Nice one.
but
That's why I can never be a fucking congressman. It's because of this show. You know that, right?
you're about to run for Congress. You said
Yeah, you
Huh?
told it, mate. We've got a
you
beer running
predicted
on
it on the show.
I
We've got a
want to
beer running
run
on
for
this, so don't
Congress,
watch this
but
shit.
I'm pretty sure that I can't because of this show.
Maybe Tina
got
should
a beer-
run then.
Actually, we've had this discussion several times
Don't you back
for,
out on
for
a beer on
local
your
government.
What'd she say?
Well, for town government, she said maybe. No, they make
You
about
said you're running, brother?
$80,000 a year.
80,000.
Yeah, that's pretty decent money, even in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
You
You
know?
said you're running, brother.
On
You said
top
you're
of
running.
her, on top of her retirement from the military,
Yep.
I could live on that.
Shit, some teachers in Massachusetts get paid $90,000 a year,
That's crazy.
and then they're demanding the teachers should be paid more. Fuck you. Seriously, they work 6 months a year. You know.
All right, wrap the show up. I'm done.
All right, I'm gonna
Yeah,
wrap it up.
I've got to go bust the seal.
Don't leave. Don't leave right away. I'm gonna stop recording, but we're gonna still bullshit for a couple minutes. All right.
You can bust the seal while you're dead.
You can bust it out in a
I
minute.
busted the seal a long time ago.
I've got so many cold beers, and these are starting to go hot.
There you go.
Anyway, I guess that was episode 57.
Yes,
I
it
had a lot
was.
of fun. Ryan, did you have fun?
I had a fantastic time.
For the most part, we let the Aussie run his mouth, right?
Yep.
We had like 3 hours of material lined up, and we didn't touch any of it, did we?
Like 2 different topics, I
No,
think.
seriously, look at that shit. Like I put some effort into this, and I highlighted or what have you got? I changed the text of like Australia. There's a lot of shit that happened, but I think what's going on in Australia is going to be a big deal.
Yeah,
I think the
yeah.
world needs to watch what's happening because
Yep.
this is going to set the standard for the rest of the world. And if the
Definitely.
United States does not stand up after Australia does, because if Australia folds, I think we're
done.
fucked.
Yeah.
I think the United States citizens need to stand up after Australia, and that'll make a difference.
Yeah.
I'm a little upset that Australia has to make that decision now. Just historically, it hasn't been Australia.
No.
The US is turning a bunch of bitches.
Yep.
Like I put in the thing, Boston lost its huge balls.
Right.
Ron,
Yeah, mate.
Boston used to have huge balls, didn't they?
Oh, mate, he's a pretty hard man, by what I recall.
Uh-huh.
He's a pretty hard man.
Well,
And win.
Boston was the city that said, you know what? We're gonna fight against England. They had huge balls. I think Boston's a bunch of pussies now.
You got to look at it, mate. When your back's up against the wall and people want to take away your freedom, what do? Fight or flight?
Well, I understand what you're saying because I agree with you, but the
we're not
average
here to
person
fight.
doesn't agree. The average person will submit.
Well, mate, Australians, as I said to you before, mate, like
You
slow
say
down.
Australians, but Australians are literally in a penal colony, so they obviously submitted.
No, we haven't submitted. We got weak ass fuckers here too, mate. We got people got no balls, and all they hear about their own self benefits. They don't give a fuck as long as they're getting food on their table, their house is being paid. They don't give a fuck. And mate, that culture's come to Australia for years, and we're sick of it. But we got people here, mate, still staunch, and they'll fucking stand up. And at the end of the day, as I said, you got fight or flight. You either fight or you fly away. And mate, we're standing up. We need the rest of the world behind us because once it hits Australia, it's going to fucking spread like wildfire. The world needs to fucking get
when
on
you
board
were
with
just taking a piss or a dump, Ryan
piss,
now
mate.
talking, and I said Australia is where we need to look. What Australia does is gonna make what happens in the world.
We're
Australia,
standing up, mate.
hey, Australia was the group that had the balls to stand up and say, fuck you.
Yeah, what's happening, brother? It's happening. We're going out, mate. We haven't got weapons now. We're going out there fucking on the streets getting shot.
Hey, let's be glad it's not the Americans with their guns. Like
Mate,
for
it's still
real,
guns, mate.
at least people aren't getting shot over it, right?
Oh, mate, look, no one wants to fucking kill anyone, but I'll tell you what, finish your freedom up against the wall.
Exactly. I
Right.
don't want to kill anyone, but fuck you. You can't tell
Yeah.
me what to do.
That's right, it's your body, mate. No one's got the right. And when they coerce your bosses to make them do decisions, because it's all comes down to being sued, mate. All comes down to mighty fucking dollar.
You know, I'm not allowed in New York City. I'm not allowed
Yeah,
to eat
okay.
at a restaurant. I'm not allowed to get a hotel room or anything in New York City because I'm
Same
not
here.
vaccinated. But I actually have a medical reason to not have a shot because it will probably cause nerve damage and kill me. New York City does not care.
Yep.
So I'm an outsider. I'm the other.
Well, they're segregating us here too, mate. They're making us second-class citizens. I'm not vaccinated, and I don't intend to be vaccinated. And they're turning us into second-class citizens in our own country.
I got nothing against a vaccine. Honestly, I think if it works as great as they say it does, I think it's fucking brilliant. And let's be real, typically speaking, the people that have been vaccinated and got sick have been less sick. But for all you know, in 10 years, it makes your balls fall off.
Hey, unless you was that chick, wasn't it?
Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj. Go like that. Hey, got it. Would you just want to finish up on a quick joke? I've got a joke for you about an Irishman. Sorry, an Englishman.
Yeah,
and
sounds
American.
great.
Actually,
Bring on the
having a
joke.
beer. Okay, I'm going to use a bit of language. Okay, a bit of sexual content in this guy. So
Oh, dude,
Englishman.
let me tell you a terrible limerick first to make it okay. There once was a man from Nantucket with a cock so long he could suck it, and he said with a grin and cum on his chin, if my ear was a cunt, I would fuck it.
You're going to make my
So,
joke sound
so whatever
stupid.
you want to
Yeah.
say.
Right, Englishman, Aussie, and American sit down having a beer in the pub, right? And I get a few beers under the belt. You know, boys start bragging a bit after a few beers.
I've heard this one.
This Englishman turns around. He says, "Well, chaps," he says, "after a few beers, I like to go home and make love to my wife." He says, "I slowly get my fingers and rub her right on the clitoris. She jumps 2 feet off the bed." American turns around. He says, "Well, boy," he says, "I'll tell you now." He says, "When I go home and make love to the wife," he says, "I go down, I'll give her cunnilingus. She jumps 5 foot off the bed." Ozzy turns around, picks up his beer, has a swig, puts it down, has a bit of a chuckle. Englishman, the American, says, "Why? What's wrong, old chap?" He turns around, he says, "Well, boys," he says, "after I'm going to finish here, I'm going to go home, root the missus, give her a good fuck, pull me dick out, wipe it on the curtains, and she'll hit the fucking roof."
Yeah. From what I understand, though, is Australian dudes tend to beat the shit out of their wives.
No, mate, no, it's only if they're wearing singlet tops.
Oh, that's what it is. That's why I never felt bad about when I was in the Navy or banging married Australian women. Was because like their husband beat the shit out of them.
Nah, never
No.
marry a fucking
Actually,
sheep,
it's like
sheep shearer.
the documented thing in the world. Apparently, Australians like to beat their women.
Well, it's going around the other way, mate. It's starting to go back the other way because a lot
I've
of men who
noticed
beat
that
women
even in the United
do that.
States, dude, the women are beating the shit out of the men.
No, well, a lot of men here in Australia beat the men who beat the women, and that's what's not getting documented.
Well, this was a great show.
Yeah, you can do this more often.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I just thought you might have got a few more laughs from me, Jay. I got fucking a bit disappointed on that, but I'll try harder next time.
Listen to that accent, dude. That's worse than Ray's accent.
Ray's American.
Yeah, but Ray was born what, Honduras?
El Salvador.
El Salvador.
El Salvador,
Oh, they border.
No, they don't.
Well, hey, Ron and I speak the same language. How's that?
Yeah, okay. You've had to ask him to repeat what he was saying multiple times.
I'm getting better at understanding Ray, to be honest. It took me a long time to get it because he's
Thank
got a
God you were
thick,
here, Brian.
huh?
Yep, that's right. I'm the
Thank God you're here,
translator. When I'm conscious.
Ray's good
But I'm
people
about
though.
to be unconscious, so this show
Yeah.
has to be over soon.
Ray's good people though.
Yes, he
Thanks,
is.
bro.
I think you'd have fun talking to him.
Oh, I loved his laid back style, brother. I loved it.
But yeah, hey, next week, you think you can be on again?
Mate, if you want me back next week, but you still want to use that same 3-hour format you were supposed to use today? Or,
The what?
The
Or do you want to stay for the
3-hour
week after?
format.
or do you want to use it for
Well,
the
the
week
problem
after?
is if we do another week, I can't just expect the flow of the conversation
Be all
because we
Australian.
already did it.
No, bullshit, mate. We've got plenty more to talk about.
I know. But we skipped. Oh my god! Like I said, I set out like an hour and a half of material that we didn't touch. I'm tempted to ask Brian if he wants to do another show tomorrow and actually record a show. And not that this isn't a show because this is actually the real one.
Yeah.
But I mean like a plus show for our material that I recorded just because I spent all that fucking effort organizing it.
Well,
Well,
if
see,
we
that was
did
like
that, we
15
might be able to get Ray to join in,
That was like 15 hours, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I'm off tomorrow as well, boys. But I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this in the Blues Brothers tone. You know how I got 12,000 miles ago, blah blah blah. I've got 42 cans of beer in my fridge, a shoulder of lamb, a shitload of gravy.
What
Straight
is it?
over the top, mate.
Victoria's better? VB?
Tooheys new, mate.
Maybe.
Tooheys new.
The VB is like a giant can, though, like the oil can from Foster's, right?
No, VB is what we tip down a drain when the drains get blocked.
Well, I use bleach.
Now we use VB, mate.
I used lie.
I wouldn't drink
Lie,
it. I wouldn't-
really? That's
I wouldn't
dangerous.
drink VB if I had to crawl through the Simpson desert,
Hey.
mate.
Are you guys allowed to smoke pot yet?
Yeah, as long as the window's up and your neighbours aren't cops.
All right. So, hold on. Let's be real. Basically,
That's a no.
no, it's illegal, but your neighbors aren't gonna call the police, and the police aren't gonna show up for smoking a joint, right?
Well, I've got really good neighbours. I've got Indians on that side. They're really good. Geez, they make good curries. And on the other side, the neighbours are going away for the weekend. So we've got great neighbours.
Where do you stand on marijuana? Like, should you be allowed to smoke it?
Mate, I don't smoke it anymore. I used to smoke when I was
Hey,
younger.
not
But
that.
no,
I'm not asking if you do. I'm saying, do you think people should be allowed to if they want to?
Yeah, well, I'm going to get to it. But what I was going to say is, mate, why should it be any different to any other drug? And I think the only thing is, once governments know how to tax
You
it.
say
it'll
any
become
other
legal.
drug, but I need a prescription for a lot of drugs.
Well, mate, as I said, but the thing is, you look at all the countries around the world, like Sweden and all those Nordic countries, that mate, they've
Mhm.
allowed for like safe disposal of what hash, heroin, all this other stuff. They do it in safe environments.
I think
Like,
you should be
imagine-
able to buy that.
Imagine if you had that in a safe environment where, like, if you knew that you're going to go and take that shit, you did it in a place where you stayed there until it wore off. You paid a few dollars, did whatever. You're not harming anyone. You get rid of that criminal element on the street. Government makes a few dollars, goes in the social health fund.
That was actually the argument I brought up for legalizing marijuana. Was it's happening anyway? You're
The
not
opium
going to
den.
stop it. The government
Why not
may as
make-
well get a cut, right?
Mate, they'll keep the government happy.
They're
stop people
charging
getting stressed out.
17% tax in Massachusetts. 17%. We revolted against England over a 3% tax on tea.
And bad tea. But the thing is, have a look at it. How many people wouldn't be killed if you made things legal? You get rid of your drug enforcement agencies. You wouldn't have fucking people fighting over shit. You wouldn't have people fucking running around Uzis or doing whatever they do with it. You go and get it legal, mate. Who's going to fucking fight over it?
Hmm.
How many cartels in the world would die in their ass?
tough to tell.
Yeah, that's enough. That's for the next show. Like that in, mate. We could have a 4.5 hour show with this one.
What's that?
I said, put that in the notes for the next show, mate. We could have a 4.5 hour show. I'll load up the fridge more. I'll
What's
just
wrong
take
with
out
have you
food.
on again, man? You were fun.
Oh, yeah, I will, mate. No, I was just going to say, I'm gonna
Even
take
with
the
your
food out of the-
soccer shirt.
It's rugby league, mate. Rugby league.
Soccer's a joke.
Soccer's poofters, mate.
No. Oh, football.
Mate, have you ever seen them taking a dive and they get up and they fucking fix their hair up?
Yeah, and his
Just
butt
like that.
hurts because he's a bitch. And he
adjust
gets
their
fucked in
helmets
the
and
butt.
fix up their little shoulder pads and stuff like that. Come on, mate. You said you want me to disagree with you. Come on, brother. 10 years, mate.
Brian passes out easy.
I haven't passed out tonight.
Not yet.
Brian's
I'm
watching another
trying
TV show.
to, but you won't let me.
Yeah,
Trying to
exactly. I
get-
got a message saying I'm fading fast.
Ray is home now. I told him to hop on the show.
Yeah, we're
Where
supposed to
was
be
he?
2 hours show, mate.
He was at a game night with the wife and family.
I guess that's the show though. It's been like what 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
I'd love to do this again. Ron. Anytime you want to be on, seriously, just shoot us an email.
I'll do it on the Friday or the Saturday, brother.
And I know it seems like a lot of work, but we're trying to make sure that it goes through a certain channels, so there's documentation, yada yada yada.
Oh, I loved it, boys. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah,
Awesome.
well, that's why it goes through the email for the show. We're actually hoping to set up a
Who's new, mate?
what they call
Tony knew.
what?
So he's new, brother. Don't forget, that's the beer you owe me when you don't go for Congress.
I've never had a Tui's.
Didn't we? No, we're gonna buy me one. You have to try. It's a draft beer. It's really, mate. I
Send me a
wouldn't drink any other-
6-pack.
Yeah, okay. If I get it through custom, it's only 4.6% alcohol.
That's
Oh, I
awesome.
can buy more than that anyway.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's only 4.6, mate. So you can have a couple of those and go and beat the missus or cook a pizza
The
or
big one I saw overseas was Gamers
game sets cider.
or GAYMERS.
Apple
I can
cider.
get in Israel. I can get pretty much anywhere in the Middle East, but it gave me a hangover in like an hour and a half.
That's an apple cider.
Uh-oh.
Games apple cider.
Here we go.
Oh, Ray's here. Oh, guapo.
We've been talking about you all night. Oh, and he left.
And he runs away as he signs on. I was hoping he's going to talk to our new Australian buddy, and
He will. He will. He's going to get his headset.
he's got to get a beer. Hey,
How are
Ron,
you guys doing again?
G'day, mate. How you go, brother?
How's you doing?
Yeah, mate. That's pretty good. Just hanging out with a couple of Americans tonight, mate. How are you?
Oh, look at that. Mickey's the tall
Oh,
boy.
yeah. Yeah.
Mate,
Malt
love you,
liquor.
kids. Save you going to the fridge that many times, eh?
you know, he came home and so I was like, oh my God, they're still fucking doing it. And
He
he's like,
texted
yeah,
me.
look
He's like, "Are you still on the show?" And I'm like, "Yeah, hop on."
I'm like, hell yeah, hopping on. Nothing else going on.
Brian tried to wrap this up 3 hours ago.
I tried.
But anyway, Ray, we mentioned you earlier. Ron's on tonight. He's our Australian friend. He was actually the guy telling us what's actually happening in Australia versus what we're getting in the news.
Oh man, I cannot wait to hear that.
Yeah, well, no, you blew it because you weren't here.
I
So
know.
you have to listen to it tomorrow on the recording.
That's what I say. I cannot wait to hear that tomorrow. See what I missed tonight. No.
That's what I was saying to the lads, Ray. Mate, there's a guy called Rushkan, Rushkan.
Mm-hmm.
Avi Yemeni, AVYYEMENI. He's on Rebel News Australia. Follow him, mate, and you'll see exactly what's happening. Those boys are on the ground, right in amongst it all. So, mate, I'll send it through to you later on. Mate, get on that, and mainstream media aren't let anyone in the world know what's going on. They're putting out a
Yeah.
false narrative of all the bullshit, making all these people out be left-wing extremists, fucking right-wing extremists, fucking all this bullshit, mate. And it's just,
The
absolute
no
rubbish.
agenda show.
Yep.
Mm.
Uh,
Yeah,
hey,
like I seen videos over there, people protesting. It's like it's getting crazy. Like wow.
oh,
And
they're literally running over police.
yeah, and
We already talked about this. Man, you missed the entire conversation.
I know. I had a game night going on today, and
I get it.
I'm
Shit
married,
happens.
so it's not like I get to choose.
It
and
happens, but
stuff.
you missed the entire exciting part tonight.
Once that
Yeah.
hole goes in the bottom, mate, it's hard to get it fucking filled in.
Yeah,
By the way,
That's
this
cool.
is our
I
token.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
Mate, I'm a token too, but Jeffrey keeps on saying he's token as well. He's token all the time, but
Shit, I thought I was white. You are whiter than I am. You are whiter than a McFadden.
mate, we just got a fucking winner. What do you expect?
Yeah, he's in a different season we are. We're going
Yeah,
to the
they're
fall.
like
you know?
we're going through a springtime right now over there.
Yeah,
And
mate.
I
Yeah,
actually tan
we're
with
getting the
my
last
American
bit of
Indian.
going.
I actually tan with my indigenous, whatever you call it, ancestry. Drives me nuts when they call them Aborigines. Like they're not Aborigines.
So
Just
you're
because they're in
Elizabeth,
Australia, they're not
you're
Aborigines.
Elizabeth Warren ancestry.
My actual
164.
paperwork says I'm more American Indian than she is. But let's be fair. Let's be fair. Ron on the show tonight is more American Indian than Elizabeth Warren.
He understood the joke. That's what's even greater about it.
But he is, and you know it.
And they reckon I've got a better accent than you, Ray, too, mate. We'll talk about that later.
Well, Elizabeth Warren made a big deal. She's American Indian because I have high cheekbones. But she had her actual record or DNA thing. So like, yeah, you're like 1/1064th, which is like 9 generations removed. Well, that
She
means
also
I'm
did she
related.
use that to get like a teaching position at Yale or something like
Yeah,
that?
at Harvard.
Heard that, yeah.
Harvard, okay, yeah, one of the Ivy League schools.
Yeah, a big deal school that the entire world acknowledges.
It's just amazing, mate. And I'll tell you what, they do things out here like in Australia too. You put down your Aboriginal here in Australia and you get so much more benefits than anyone else, which is only fair, Like I don't got no problem with that. But things like bullshit about it, people that bullshit about it and they get caught out. Why is she still in power? Why is she still getting paid to be a politician?
Yeah. Yeah, nothing happened here for politicians for lying. But anyway.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier, mate. Like the boys asked me about our prime ministers, why we go through so many prime ministers. You can't beat the system. You just can't beat the system.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it's
that's
just-
the problem.
it's
Is you
people-
can
it's
beat the
people-
system, but it takes enough people to do it.
Yeah, you have to vote them out.
It's not
No.
that hard. It's
Just
not that easy.
imagine.
I mean,
They're saying that you need a vaccine to go to work. Imagine if every fucking company said, "We're not going to enforce this."
Yeah. Then it's gonna be like, okay.
Well, funny you
it's not
say
gonna
that.
happen. There's gonna be too
Wait,
many
wait,
companies that enforce it.
I got to pee so bad.
It's a funny thing you say that.
What happened to your bottle?
I filled both of them.
See, I break the seal
Yeah.
by going to the bathroom. He
Reuse
breaks
it.
the
Get a
seal by
funnel.
filling 2 Gatorade bottles up.
Get a funnel for this.
How good of a shot are you, bro?
Not that
Oh,
good.
wow. I got a little one. See.
Yeah, there you go.
I promise not to move it if you hold still.
No, not gonna happen.
I got by aiming, but I shoot with this one.
Yeah, I used to be a surgeon until I started playing golf.
That's awesome. Oh man.
How big is that seal? Anyway, Boy, Jeffrey's away. We'll go on with the programming schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like the Austin Powers of the show, you know.
I want to hear more about this oily pizza he was talking about. Is this a 2 o'clock pizza he was talking about? Or is it a 1 o'clock pizza? Oh, you missed it, Ray. He's talking about this pizza that he gets. What wasn't over the game, Brian?
Oh shit.
Brian,
Want to hear about this pizza you can't have with dairy products, mate?
Oh yeah, no. Jeffrey definitely does not do dairy products well. Doesn't matter what they are. When they come back out, you do not want to be in the same.
You do not want to be in the same area.
So you had the top bucket of submarine, mate.
I don't do. Actually, I was not supposed to survive. I was supposed to die according to like ecology and evolution. But Americans, not Americans, humans have got so good at figuring out how to survive that I managed to not die because of my allergies as a kid. And now chances are I'm going to pass on my weird allergies. Like, I'm allergic to medicine. That's not a good thing to be allergic to.
Herbal or synthetic medicine.
Huh?
Penicillin and like shot different types of penicillin.
Well, pretty much any penicillin medicine I'm allergic to, including a lot more bacteria-phase stuff. But that doesn't matter.
I'm surprised you're not allergic to alcohol.
Thank God.
I might be. I don't know. Maybe that's why.
He's allergic to weed.
But
I could not smoke that. I'm allergic to it.
you guys cool if I sign off for the show and maybe we bullshit for another couple minutes?
No, that's fine.
That's like,
I've been trying to
that's
sign
like
this show off for like the last
I know
hour.
we've been on forever. I guess that's episode 57. I had
It
fun.
is.
I had a lot of fun. Obviously, Brian was on. Jeffrey and Brian.
And Ray made
Ray
an
showed up,
appearance.
but we had our mystery guest that I'm hoping shows up again. Ron from Australia.
Nice koozie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
brother.
and
Well,
he's
thank you for
telling us that you guys don't fucking understand.
The Southern Star, cross
Don't
star.
give up your
Don't
guns.
Don't give up your
fucking
guns.
rights.
Don't give up your guns, boys. I tell you what's happening in Australia is going to come to a country near you.
Exactly.
Trust
Don't
me.
give up your guns. Don't give up your rights. Right.
Right.
Keep that constitution and don't let no party tear your constitution down, because I tell you what, it's the greatest gift that God's ever given to anyone in this world, mate. So
The key to remember is that the Constitution is just a piece of paper. It's up to the people to enforce it.
that's what I said, mate. It's a living entity. And that's what you got to believe in. It's an entity. You guys are the constitution.
I
That's what you gotta
believe in it. I believe in it enough to pick up a weapon.
Yeah, that's what I said, mate. It's a living entity. You
And
guys are the constitution.
I don't
Yeah,
want to
right.
shoot anyone. But
Nobody
I
does.
I'm
believe in the
Brian.
there we go. Jeffrey, we're out.
We're out.
We'll do this next week.
Thanks, lads. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, there we go.